what you want to say, baby. When you're alone in the darkest night, maybe you can't give the radio back. Open your heart and show your eyes that you can change your destiny. And grow your love, baby. The future is waiting for you. And show your eyes that you can change your destiny. what you want to say, baby, when you're alone in the darkest night. Maybe you can give your radio back. Open your heart and show your eyes that you're destiny. And throw your love, baby. The future is waiting for you. And show your eyes that you're destiny.
That is the way that you open a stream. Hi, everybody. Glad to be back. I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I told you I would be. We have so much it's piling up, right? But you know, I just got so involved in cleaning my house yesterday that I didn't want to stop. I don't know why that is. Usually I have trouble motivating myself for stuff like that, but it's kind of like when you can see perfection. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're in your refrigerator and those glass shelves, you're like trying to be like, can I get this like absolutely pristine? I don't know. Yeah, I got way too into cleaning yesterday, but not too into it to remember how you do open a stream. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having an amazing afternoon, evening, whatever it is in your time zone. It is Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. This is NCC TV coming at you live from Sumaru City. We are live and alive, or at least that's how it feels to me. Could be a brain in a jar somewhere. Don't know, don't care. Shouts out to all my weasels out there, all my forest creatures rocking out to the realest of the real. Synthetic lifeform streamer, trapped in a cyber brain and body like some kind of ghost in a half shell in this late stage hyper-capitalist dystopia. Forced to exist in this twilight realm to pay off my debt to society and my student loans. I hope you're having a good day, whoever, whatever, whenever, wherever you are. We're about to jump right into it here on twitch.tv, youtube.com, high risk, high reward, high on life, or whatever simulation, simulacrum, simultaneous, spontaneous singularity of consciousness this is, was, or will be sometime in the cyber future. Oh. Neurodivergent inertia, quite possibly, be various. Quite possibly, you might have it. But yeah, Ethan, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. So we got done with like a part of his diatribe on Monday, but not all of it, and that's why I wanted to come back the next day and finish it. I had a little technical difficulty with my headphones. That seems to have fixed itself, and now I actually do have cord redundancy, so if the cord's a problem again, I can replace it really easily now. But we didn't finish. We got some unfinished business. There's also more stuff to get to, and the main thing being he's doing a Destiny. For a guy that says he doesn't know Destiny, I do have my headphones. Yeah. How do you feel though, chat? I feel like, I'm not sure. I might have been better without the headphones on. I don't know why that would be. Why would I be better spoken without headphones? I guess it's possible. But, what a beautiful butterfly. Thank you, Sasha G. That's really sweet of you. But yeah, I got sucked into like a cleaning vortex. Which I guess is a pretty productive vortex to get sucked into. I wish I'd get sucked into an editing vortex. We could use a new video, couldn't we? I just don't have that much bandwidth as far as output, throughput, what do you want to call it? Wait, I couldn't. That's what she said. Oh, we didn't finish. That is what she often finds herself saying. Yeah. Or like, I didn't finish. That's a real issue right there. Your friendly neighborhood merc. That's mood sometimes. Yo, I mean, I don't know. I think I've said really weird things about to my significant others about that stuff. I remember like saying, look, if this was a sports game, you would be winning by like record levels. You know, you'd be like, you know, this would be like 150 to 70 in basketball. This would be 15 to 1 or 15 to nothing in soccer. This would be like 9 to 0 in hockey. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, we gotta get rid of this. Damn. Opposite of Destiny, who is a shrunken man? Wait, who's opposite of Destiny, who is a shrunken man? I'm a grown child, just like Ethan, apparently. Yes, and you can be convinced of horrendous, immoral ideologies such as Marxist. Waluigi. Yeah, there we go. Marxist Waluigiism. That's the philosophy that we uphold here. But yeah, I am gonna try to get through as much of this as I can. What I mean by that Ethan does not stop is that motherfucker streamed on, guess what? Hasan again today. That's right. That's right. He doesn't just do the content nuke. He does the content nuke. He does the nuclear fallout stream. And I guess this would be the nuclear winter. What's that quote from Fallout in New Vegas? Patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter or something. Is that what it is? Have I got it anywhere close to right, chat? I need to finish that game. That game is cool. All video games are cool. Final Fantasy VII is cool. Will I ever have time to actually play it? I don't know, chat. We should do, I should do like a Twitch-a-thon. I should do a subathon on Twitch sometime. And actually play video games. I could for once as long as I stick to not talking about like, wait a minute, could I talk about drama? I feel like, no, cause like I never really covered drama. Like I would have to stick to like Ethan talking about Hassan's dog. I think that's the sort of thing that, yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about Twitch requiring, and it's thanks to Destiny and Dan Saltman, it requiring a content label for anybody who's covering politics. So if you say anything about politics more than just the United States has 3 co-equal branches of government, the judicial, the executive, and the legislative, anything more than just descriptions of politics, like the, you know, how the electoral college works or something like that is considered something that you got a content label, as if I was showing like booba, or as if I was, I don't know, talking about something bad. Apparently politics is bad. But yeah, and so that's what I was saying, is that if I like actually just played video games, that would be one way that I wouldn't be demonetized. But obviously people watch my channel. for my analytical skills, not for my video game skills. So, I mean, it's anyone's guess how many people would actually show up for something like a gaming stream. Maybe if it was Fallout New Vegas, I feel like out of any video game, my chat is there's the most, I don't know, that seems like it would be the most popular, if not the most popular. I started New Vegas and then spent like 30 minutes removing every item from the first building. Oh, and I never tried it again. That fucked me up. All right, you start off in the doctor's house, the really nice doctor, and like anything in his house you can steal without any sort of consequence, right? The rest of the game, if you steal people's shit, there's some chance that they'll be upset with you. There's some chance that'll cause a negative ramification of some sort. But the doctor is just like, no, mi casa, su casa, and me stuff, you sue stuff, right? But yeah, there's a gazillion things in there. I think at least some of them are useful. But like, that was my big problem with the game, is you're asking me, do I want to pick up, I don't know, like just stuff that I don't know what it is. It's like all of a sudden it's like a mantis leg. Do I want to pick up a mantis leg? Is that a good idea? Do I want to pick up a book of some type? A burnt book? There's obviously a lot of stuff there that is just like trash, right? Not trash, but like there's not much of a use for it, I'm guessing. But if you don't know what it is, you're just faced with a gazillion things. Here's what I did, chat. What is it? Is it called a med kit? Oh my god, chat, what's the thing that you jab in your arm to make yourself healthier? What is it called? Like, there were certain things that I recognized the name of them. You never know when you might need a mantis leg, true. You never know when that might come in handy. It's like the beginning of Morrowind. You can steal everything from the customs in front of the cops, but it won't fly anywhere else. What's the weasel thing about? Okay, well, it's my theory that weasels are mythical creatures of legend. And it's really too bad that I wish weasels existed, is what I'm trying to say. Right? Because clearly, you know, you hear about weasels, there's nursery rhymes about weasels. Weasels are characters in fables and folk tales and all the stim pack. Yes, thank you, Bevarius. A stim pack. I was like, I gotta pick up the stim pack. Obviously the stim pack, right? I could tell it's good. Does he have that there, Nicholas Alexander West? Does the doctor have that in his house? Damn. I mean, he kind of... no shade. He kind of looks like he might. Weasel is her spirit animal, clearly. There are also stim packs in StarCraft, just like Fallout games. Don't know why. What are the oranges or origins of it? Yeah, it's just that. Basically, that I've got this theory that weasels don't really exist, but they're cool as fuck. Do weasels include ferrets? I think the ferret is weasel adjacent, I would say.
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
But yeah, I think the other thing is I called Heffels a weasel. I'm trying to remember why. Chat, would you believe that I've had Heffels in my chat, beefing with Heffels attacking members of my community? It's weird because she'd attack me at the same time as she told me how irrelevant I was. And it's just like, okay, so if I'm irrelevant, why are you here? Why do you care? What is up, Heffels? Of all the places for you to show up and try to stir up drama, this was a while ago, chat. And I'm telling you this because this is where the weasel came from. This is the origin story of the weasel. Why is the weasel a weasel? How did it get weaselly? It was because of Heffels. Heffels is a weasel. She's an absolute weasel. She's a 100%. She's known nothing but all her life, but and yeah, I mean, she's just like, will just straight up lie to your face, look you straight in the face, like everything is normal and just lie to you. And I'm just like,
Weasel.
what a weasel. What a goddamn weasel. There's even a song. Well, it's not really a song. It's really a Machine Girl song that somebody remixed with me saying
Weasel. Weasel. Weasel.
every, like, so often. Like, they put a sample of me saying weasel to the rhythm of a Machine Girl song. And I would play it for you, but it gets copyright claimed. That's right. Machine Girl comes along and asserts their copyright. And I'm like, okay, Machine Girl, I will not infringe upon your copyright, even though I think it's transformative, because my friend put the, yeah, Zara put the weasel, I can't say it, I can't compete with myself here. Zara put the weasel sample over the song, thus transforming it into a completely new work of art. But it wasn't transformative enough to not get copyright claims, so we don't play it anymore. But I would jump around on the trampoline to the song of Weasel, Weasel, Weasel. And I mean, that's the, this was like 2 years ago, I think. Am I right? It feels like it was a fuck long time ago. Yeah, I think I had Keffels and Bad Empanada in my chat at once, and they were beefing. And somehow I become the meat in that sandwich. And it's just like, that happens to me a lot, chat. This happens to me a lot. How do I get sucked into other people's dramas? So, yeah, remember the Tyler and Sunday thing? That's what I'm talking about. I'm just covering content, and all of a sudden Sunday wants to come into my Discord, and Tyler wants to come into my Discord, and they're arguing, and they're like, we will handle this ourselves. And I'm like, all right, I mean... And then they're like, you're a shit moderator. Okay, you wanted me to shut the other person up. I get it. No, I want to see you tear each other's heads off. That's a beautiful thing. I'm kind of sick that way, okay? Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. But it's a bit like some kind of a fight between insects. Tyler and Sunday. But yeah, and then the other one that happened, I think, was Shark and Bad Empanada. Back when Shark was spreading screenshots of Bad Empanada tweeting that he admits to being a sex criminal of some sort, which obviously, if you've been around Twitter, you could probably guess was not a real tweet. So then Bad Empanada had to bring up some not real tweets about Shark, and they bought it out in my chat. Bad Empanada came on, challenged Shark from my Discord. Shark did not want to actually talk to Bad Empanada because I think he kind of knew that. He knew he was lying. He was lying Shark. That's right. That was what we call him. We call him lie. I can't do the Trump thing, chat. I always think, is that a thing that like everybody always thinks that they can do the Trump? You just got to move your hands. I don't know. I don't think I sound anything. I don't think I've got it. Are you gonna get his cadence? I guess is the big thing, right? Kind of crazy couples just disappeared from the internet. I sort of understand that. I don't. Okay, one thing that I feel like got underplayed by a lot of people, underappreciated, forgotten, minimized, was the shit that Xander Hall said about couples. As much as I will confirm that Keffels is an absolute
Weasel.
and even though I was very understanding to her, very sympathetic to her, she always treated me like shit. So I don't really miss her that much. But yeah, I mean, Xander Hall like wrote, threatening things to his editor regarding Keffels. Like asking for Keffels' location and stuff, and making specific ideations of things that Xander Hall would like to do to Keffels. That is not, you can't go around doing that, Xander Hall. You can't threaten people. That's not, even like Keffels does not deserve to be like physically threatened. And that's what was happening. I don't know. But yeah, chat, we're not talking about Keffels. We're not talking about Bad and Panana. We're not talking about Shark 300. We are not talking about Vosh. We are talking... Yeah, Vosh has been... I just have not wanted to talk about Vosh. I was hoping the rest of the internet would feel the same. Like, it's like the horse thing. Okay, dude. Great. You be into Shadman type shit. You be into some Shadman style art. And go be that way somewhere else on some corner of the internet where everybody that's okay with that can fucking hang out. And I want to have nothing to do, not even covering your disgrace, Vosh. Not even covering. Speaking of disgraces, we've got 82 in chat and only 29 likes. That's going to make a very unproductive night. Oh my god, chat, am I more of a bitch than usual tonight? Don't take it personal. I'm not, like, mad at chat. Maybe I'm not being a bitch at all. I'm just have a really... Yeah, look, your neighborhood friendly merc, Shark's real problem is that he's a terrible judge of character in terms of the people that he's friendly with and in terms of the people that he is antagonistic towards. And, I mean, I don't know about his politics. And I don't care at this point. But yeah, I mean, like, this is the story, oldest story in the world. Like, you know, decent, if, very liberal, very centrist, content creator comes onto the internet and gets ruined in an attempt to chase fame and clout by his association with one Vosh Vidya. Many such cases. Many such cases. But we're not talking about White Leaf today, all right? Or any other kind of tea. Not even worth spilling. Wait, let's get this here. We're talking about an entirely different drama. And that is the drama of Ethan trying to get Hasan shit canned. And like, I swear to God, if he ruins Twitch even more than Dan and Destiny did, I'm gonna be so pissed. Rob Skelts, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. That is very kind of you, Rob Skelts. Let's call you the wrong name. Look, I can read. Rob. I know that's a different name than Ron. And Rons and Robs often get confused. It need not be so. You must discern your Rons from your Robs. It's very important. They're different people. Justo Man, you just got weaseled. Chapter Black, you just got weaseled. Din Ver, you just got weaseled. Robbie H, you just got weaseled. And Figure Drawing, or Drawing if you are Britishly inclined, you just got weaseled. And that's a good thing. Oh, that's why you asked about the weasel thing. Yeah, I guess it's still very much in the branding. I don't know, chat, I keep on running into things that I'm like, oh shit, that would be perfect for an emoji. And then by the time I get a chance to maybe make it into an emoji, it's like out of sight, out of mind. Shakespeare, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Red Pandu, you just got weaseled. Jamie Lynn Wood, you just got weaseled. Philip Mitchell, you just got weaseled. Hardcore Hypocrite, you just got weaseled. And Lucifer, you just got weaseled. What's worse, Ethan or the psycho fans? Thank you, Shakespeare, by the way. Ethan or the psycho fans that stick around to defend him? Dusto Man says, I am Weasel. I never knew. Yeah, it's weird because like with me, weasels are both like a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, like when Keffels is a weasel, it's obviously because she's dishonest and a bitch and not the good kind. No, chat, I've like known entirely too many of these fucks. Like, right? That's the problem. I almost would rather just do a stream, and I think I have been. I've been like a little bit like remote, you know. I don't try to get to know. I should. I met a lot of bad people, Chad, or I met a lot of people that I thought were good, and they ended up being Destiny orbiters, Vosh orbiters, what have you. And, you know, I just wished I had never known them. But it's okay, because I am outlasting many of them. And people are noticing. People are noticing. Oh, you would like to... so Shakespeare is doing something interesting that I should totally... Boom. There we go. I should attend to. That's the word. I must attend. Okay, so look at this. If we look at the poll right now, 62 of you have voted already. Of those 62 votes, 48% are choosing the Do Not Worry podcast. Do not worry. Do not worry. Because we may very well be watching that as bonus content. 8% of you want more Ryan Beard, Destiny Duke. I don't know. Maybe people watch that on their own. I'm told it was really good after the part that I had to nope out of because it was literally triggering to me, which I didn't expect. But that's up there at 8%. Emma on the Bituation Room, 26%. That's second place. Emma Vigeland, Francesco Fiorentini, having a nice little sit down and a conversation about a certain TYT. And Jessie Gender with her clapback at Jon Stewart, why he is wrong about the Trump administration and fascism. That's at 17%. That would put that in third place. But remember, there's plenty of time to vote. Whether you're watching on YouTube or watching on Twitch, feel free to come over to YouTube. And why is this like right in my face? Oh, because I am not used to having it here. Yoy. Come on. What's that? Okay. Move. There we go. Like there? Yeah, that's an okay place for that. Many people are saying NCC was right. Yup. What is that quote from Castro? La historia may... Anybody help me out with this? Any Spanish speakers and quote knowers? La historia may... That's the last one. Wait, what are you doing? That's definitely what she said. Wait, which one? Oh my gosh, what did I say that was exploitable? Evil is prospering these days. More harm you cause, the harder. You know, actually, I feel like I've seen a Nancy Mace clip that very much exemplifies exactly what you're talking about. I'm trying to do the Castro quote. Vindicada? Is it Vindicada? La historia me vindicara. And I know my Spanish pronunciation is horrible, chat. That is because I learned French first, and it ruined me. As it does many great people. Many people are ruined by French. Me va vindicar. I know. See, like, I can tell that that's future tense. Like, that's like going to... History is going to vindicate me. It's basically my translation of that. This is the weird thing, chat. I can kind of read Spanish because of the cognates with French, but I cannot speak it to save my life. My accent is terrible. I don't know enough of the right words. I don't have the grammar in my head enough. But it's a good language. My first language is French. Nice. I mean, French is okay once you start to get the hang of it. It has its own logic. It has its own mouthfeel. And once you master those things, I feel like French is has a lot of potential for expression. What if alt hist ruined by French class literally happened? Oh, you're right. He was, literally. I can kind of read French because of Spanish. I need to learn more because I'm Canadian now. Yeah, that's right. Every sign is in English and French. But yeah, Shakespeare, oh my gosh. I forgot where I was going with that. Chat, ADHD to the brain. So I was reading you off the poll results telling you that Do Not Worry is in first place. Emma on the Bituation Room is in second place. Jesse Gender, John Stewart Was Wrong, is in third place. And that More Ryan Beard, Destiny Nuke is in fourth place. In addition to that, there is the effect of donations, of which I've had one person tell me after they donate which of these topics they would like to see. And you're welcome to do that when you donate, right? So let me know in the chat which of these topics tickles your fancy. And I'll be more than happy to put your money where your mouth is, adding your donation as a percentage to the topic of your choice, which will then be added to the overall vote. Right now, the bonus that Shakespeare got by saying "Do Not Worry" podcast after donating has not changing the results of the poll. Rather, it is amplifying them. And sometimes that's what happens. The chatters and the donors, they want to see the same thing. Sometimes not. Sometimes What If Alt Hist is on there and like none of the chatters want to see it, but the donors really want to see it. And we end up watching that. But that's how it works. You can influence the polls if you want to. You can also say Vox Populi if you want to de-influence the polls. And you're just like, whatever people vote for, make that win. That's Vox Populi. There's a name for that. There's the voice of the people. And you can be the voice of the people when you donate. And that goes for super chat, super stickers. That goes for getting yourself a membership. That goes for gifting a membership. That goes for supporting me on Throne. That goes for signing up for my Patreon. And that definitely goes for supporting me on Twitch. Because remember, that is the if you want to know how to annoy Destiny, how to annoy Dan Saltman, supporting small streamers covering politics from a leftist pro-Palestinian position would be my #1 response to that query. Not that I am artificial intelligence or anything like that. But anyway, chat, that's where we're at right now. Do Not Worry podcast taking an early, fairly commanding read. Oh my God, lead. There, that's better. I'm sorry, I didn't realize we couldn't see what people were saying in chat. I need to somehow, I don't know. I feel like I need to bring the camera down or something. Here? All right, that's a good place. That's a good place for that. I'm happy with that. Good to see you, Sound Vito. We're about to get started here. I also, speaking of Patreons, I wanted to thank my Patreons. I try to do that every stream, at least once a stream. All of my Patreons get access to my videos before they come out. When I do videos, you get the video first, and you often get it in an uncensored format, sometimes with a few extra scenes as well. Right, that is at the base level, that is at any level, right? Everybody at the $5 or higher level, you also get a fancy shout out. So let me do those now. Shouts out to Oral's Ellipsis. Shouts out to Temporal Insanity. Shouts out to Funky Monkey. Shouts out to Shakespeare. Shouts out to Nadia. Shouts out to Moe Noape. Shouts out to Ma Goggles. Shouts out to Just Julie. Shouts out to Jules K. Shouts out to Infallible Fowl. Shouts out to Hot Ham Radio. Shouts out to Good for Gabby. Shouts out to Buffy Geek. Shouts out to Animus. Shouts out, fancy shout out to Zerazerix, to Rachel K, to Crystal Saphira, and to Omega Star. Patreons, I appreciate you greatly. Especially in the beginning of a month. Swedish wasn't difficult as other languages because it follows a number of rules I was familiar with. That being said, I struggle to understand it when it's spoken. Glad you are not artificial intelligence. It actually is pretty unintelligent. Yeah, I mean, well, like, we don't have artificial intelligence. Whatever the fuck that is, whatever kind of algorithm nonsense that shit is, it's not intelligence. And thank goodness. I don't know what we do with actual intelligence. Like, we got scumbags running everything. You really think we could handle like a synthetically created intelligence? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it to me, chat. Wait, French is harder than what, Swedish? As a kid, I accidentally bought a book that, due to a weird mix-up, was in Swedish. So instead of returning it, I taught myself to read. Yo, I did something like that too. Yeah, like, I was a curious little kid, and somehow I got a hold of a book, like a paperback book, Teach Yourself French or something like that. And I read it, and I just, like, you know, I read through it, and I learned French, right? That's not really the kind of book that most little kids like to read, but I just got into it, and I focused on, I locked in on it, and I learned the language. But I realized that I hadn't read, I believe, like the foreword or the introduction or something like that, right? It was one of those books with a foreword or introduction, different sections. And in that introduction, in that foreword, it described a phenomenon called la liaison in French. La liaison. And so I had learned French without la liaison, and that caused all kinds of problems. In other words, I didn't really know how to say anything in French because I wasn't pronouncing French anywhere close to right. It's the thing where the last consonant of a word oftentimes is unspoken, is unannounced, is unvocalized. Although it's not entirely unvocalized, it's kind of just swallowed. Like, it's there, the remains of that letter are there, but you swallow the letter. And depending on what word is next, you may actually pronounce it. In other words, if there's a vowel afterwards, you do pronounce the last letter. But it sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. But yeah, it's important. It's important. It's when you join the words. Yeah. You end with like a consonant. It flows into a vowel, and you actually pronounce the vowel, but like fluidly into the consonant. Or extra vocalized. Yeah. We gotta get into this chat though. I started late once again, so I gotta make up for lost time if I can. If it's not too late already to make up for lost time, we shall. Because when I last left you, I was reacting to the H3 Ethan video without even so much as hearing Ethan's voice. He would get really mad at me for that, chat. Like, Ethan Klein would not like that. He doesn't like people reacting to their videos without hearing them. That's going to become a theme. That's going to become a theme. H3. What are we doing? H3 podcast? Yeah. We got to get into that podcast because they're, like I said, chat, he's been making more podcasts. Like, we didn't even finish the last podcast. Ethan's been making more podcasts. He's also trying to get Hasan banned. I got to cover it all, and I got to cover more because there's more important stuff. AOC just dropped some science on anyone who wants to do what they can about our little problem with fascism running hog wild in the government. And I want to watch that. I think that she's come up with something that I'd kind of come to, right? In terms of how do you deal with somebody that's spraying you with a fire hose of sewage? And that's what the Trump administration is doing right now. They are spraying us with a fire hose of sewage. It's hard to concentrate on, like, which turd should I complain about when I'm getting sprayed with, you know, a sewer hose from the sewer. And the answer is you got to find themes. You got to find motivations. And you got to find something to tie it all together. And I think she's on a good track as far as that goes. So, yeah, I want to talk about politics. But yeah, I left you. I said I was going to come on yesterday and finish this H3 thing with you. Oh yeah, God, all kinds of shit has happened. Like, Ethan, I gave him too much credit because he noticed that Anna was spiraling, right? And he commented on it, that Anna's basically MAGA now. But today, chat, he actually found Anna's tweet and he was like, right on, full MAGA Anna Kasparian. I don't know. He says Hasan is for MAGA. Kind of feels like Ethan is doing more to... What the fuck am I trying to do here? Oh yeah, I have it all on playlists, I think. So I should.
The Department of Government.
Oh no, God, and this shit right here.
30 seconds, like a short joke at the very beginning.
All right, so we gotta watch this. I've also got some Hasan Hiker to watch with you, including what we know. God, chat, let me see if I can find it on Twitch, Twitter, whatever. I get my T sites mixed up. It's a good thing I don't have Tumblr. Of course, I wouldn't mix it up if I called it by its proper name. It's x.com. It's x.com now. It's not called Twitter anymore. I can't do my Elon is even worse than my Trump, which is amazing. Oh yeah, I've got a bookmark, don't I? Hopefully. I do indeed. All right, so chat, let's start off by showing you what the fuck I'm talking about in the thumbnail itself, right? This is... What do you call this, like a form email? Yeah, he's posting this on his Instagram. Ethan Klein is currently encouraging his dwindling audience to mass email advertisers after his newest video was a dud. This is against TOS on multiple platforms. It's called brigading. The person who posted this thread on Reddit is a 3-post history Epstein foot soldier. Oh my gosh, let's get to where you can actually see what I'm talking about. Much better. Much better. All right, so this is from Ethan's. Easton posted this on his Instagram story, considering sending Mr. Boom a polite letter. Now, that is not, chat, mind you, that is not Mr. DeFuck Boom, the creator of the Skibbity Toilet series, right? That is Mr. Steve Boom, who I guess, you know, somebody from Amazon that would be in charge of Dan Clancy or have seniority over him or something, would be able to fire him ostensibly. Dan Clancy doesn't care about anti-Semitism. Let his boss, Steve Boom, know how you feel about that. Twitch is so mismanaged because it's too small of a part of Amazon. Let's turn off the video game music. Yes. Yes, we can do that. Oh my god, come on. Back. All right. Where were we? It is too small for them to care. But this can be flipped. Amazon would rather it burn than let it affect their stock price, even 0.1% from bad headlines. So he's going after Amazon's stock price as a way of getting at Dan Clancy to get at Hasan Piker? Dan Clancy directly reports to Steve Boom. Send a polite email to Steve, letting him know in a concise, brief example of Twitch's anti-Semitism problem. Steve Boom's email. LinkedIn, yeah, so all kinds of ways to contact Steve Boom. Maybe mention you decided to check out Dan Clancy's recommended favorite streamer and felt weird that he kept calling and laughing every time sexual violence against them was mentioned. Or that you checked out the featured TwitchCon panelist named Frogan. Yes, call and complain about Frogan, who was talking about how she would recreate 9/11 out of cake. She's going to do 9/11 with cake. We got to stop her. These Amazon guys are too busy to know about the inner workings of Twitch. If enough people send them a short email to bring awareness to this, it might actually make a difference. This is after, I don't know if did I show you this last time? I believe that Ethan said that the video had been reported, his video. I don't know how he would know that. Maybe if you're a certain size of creator, they let you know. But that they weren't interested in demonetizing or removing his video. They just thought, wow, this is a very, controversial video. I don't know. Like he said it somehow helped his video. Right? I don't know how he thinks that 40,000 people watching the video with denims is like helping the video's views, but like if it was a video that Denims was showing and be like, this is a pretty good video. I'm really impressed. Check this out. Check out this creator, right? That's the opposite of what Denims is doing with Ethan's video. But anyway, he implied that, yeah, that was actually, I don't know. It's the kind of like, whatever you do, don't cover me in peanut butter. And it's because you really like to eat peanut butter and you want to lick it off yourself. It's that kind of thing. It's that kind of vibe, chat. Please don't throw me in the peanut butter. I don't know. Maybe mention that you just saw. Okay, so we read that. We read the Frogan part. These animal got. Okay, this. Dan Clancy's boss, Steve, himself reports to somebody in Jassy. Send a second message to Andy, letting him know how you feel. Oh, Andy. Okay. And when you're done, consider writing Mr. Andy a polite email too. There's Steve Boom's email. Okay, so there's more to this. Ethan took months making the content nuke to make the world a better place for his kids. That's what nukes always do. They always make the world a better place for people's kids. Take 5 minutes to do your part to help too. I'm doing my part. All right, thanks a lot, Ethan. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about when I say that the email campaign. I think that Hasan talks about this at some point. I may have to go digging, though, to show you exactly the content that I mean, but we shall see, chat. We shall see. Let's get on with the nuclear fallout.
Beginning of the video.
Big
And this is what Hasan does. He does these straw mans. He goes, I didn't even watch the hour and 40-minute long video, but it's just about, socialists are scary. It's like, well, I can see why you think that. That's what I talked about for an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah.
terror.
Yo, Ethan, you gotta understand something, dude. If you open a news article and you do what they call burying the lead, that's a bad thing, right? If your video wasn't about communism, you shouldn't have made it your fucking thesis statement. That was his thesis. That was in the place of a thesis statement. Like, does he not know the very basic, organizations of ideas? I mean, what he made was a video essay. When you do an essay, it's just a weird thing. If communism was not what you were worried about, dude, then why was that the headline?
Is what I would say.
I agree with Ethan, with AB. I missed Fat Ethan. Well, we're going to see a sort of old school Ethan come back to the show today. Whenever we get to that, right? Today he came back and he was wearing his blue. Do you remember the blue knit hat that he has? Do you remember when every single day, always, Ethan had the blue knit hat or some kind of knit hat, right? He's going back to that. He's going back to that. So I don't know. Is that back to his roots, maybe?
So that's why I'm looking like Tim Pool today, who surprisingly and completely unrelated to what I was saying. Oh my God, it's fucking 5 a.m. out here, dude. I'm literally, there's only so
You're
much I
crashing
can
out,
take.
bro.
God
You should go to bed. I think Hasan really needs to focus on his mental health. He needs to go to bed, okay, buddy? It's clearly that the sleep deprivation is getting to you. I say this not seriously, but because this is the type of shit that Hasan and his community have been telling me for a fucking year nonstop. And look at him
damn
now.
it. What the hell?
Who's crashing out now, bitch?
This guy.
You still, sir. Thank you for asking. Yeah, that would be you. That would be Ethan Klein. Or Esteban, as he wants to be known now.
Had a disagreement with me over Israel, ended the podcast. I was so fucking gracious to him, far more gracious than he goddamn deserves.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you for finally saying what I knew.
I do have one video I would like Ethan to watch. There is one. I think it's Yo, where's those bubbles coming from? Shakespeare with the bubbles, with the resubscribe on Twitch, making it bubble. Thank you. And getting us to 36%, which is a decent place to be at right now. I don't know, chat. We could very much have some bonus content despite me doing what I always do, fucking it up and starting way too late in the evening.
You actually thought at the time.
Which
was the problem, of course.
Literally ends the podcast because he can't fucking cut it.
I want you to notice as I pause way too much. All right, that aside though, Ethan Klein is going to be pausing a lot. Right now, with me, it's like that I have a lot to say. But with somebody like Ethan and with a lot of streamers, what they're doing is pause fucking. In other words, they don't want the person that they're reacting to really be able to get a cogent thought out. And it's being paused too much, and it's being paused in the middle of statements. so that they're not heard, so that all the reactor has to deal with is like a broken series of thoughts that are sometimes not even coherent. Like sometimes you're reacting to not actually what the person is saying.
Like he's like, oh, I don't want to talk about politics anymore because people are hurting my feelings when I talk about Israel, because it kind of comes across like I'm defending Israel. Okay, and then everybody goes, oh, you're defending Israel. It's like his whole shtick for the past year has been saying liberal Zionist talking points and then getting mad at everyone when they go, are you a Zionist?
What liberal... Bro, the fantasy world that they've built is incredible. What liberal Zionist talk... What is a liberal Zionist talking point?
Ethan, just open your mouth, open your ignorant mouth and talk about the situation in Israel, Palestine. And there's your, like, it would show if there was a dictionary and it had liberal Zionist talking point, it would be like Ethan Klein with a speech bubble. That's like the universal sign. Like you are the prototype.
Well, I mean, what they're probably referring to is stuff like the I mean,
he fucking knows. Dan fucking knows. It's gotta suck to be Dan. Although I don't know. Do we feel sorry for him? Chat, do we need some Rich Lux in here? I am feeling very rich and very Rich Lux. Can't stand Dan. Dan is the queen. Dan can do no wrong. Oh my god. I know there's like a Rich Lux version of this. I had this. I need this, chat. Dan is the queen. Let's try searching for that. Dan is the queen. But I really want... I can't stand Dan. Because I do not think that Dan is the queen. There it is.
Well, folks, I just got back from... Dan is the queen. You can't do nothing wrong. Dan is the queen. Right? Can't stand Dan.
It was sent in chat. He said
Dan blocked me from my favorite show, H3.
Dan blocked me.
and he was like, I just banned him.
I remember you banned him, but I
Can't stand Dan.
Wait, it sounds like Olivia banned Dan, not or banned Rich Lux, not Dan. Anyway, Chad, I can't stand Dan.
And it's essentially you saying that Israel should not be eliminated, and
Like, look, Ethan Klein is pretty profoundly ignorant. He's also just kind of reactionary. But Dan is aware of a lot of what Ethan is ignorant about. And so for him to go along, I mean, I understand you have your job, but god damn, dude. God damn, what is he audition? I mean, this is like, this will get you a position in the Trump administration, right? This kind of sycophantry, like the being able to unequivocally support somebody who's so wrong, right? This is like Trumpian.
two-state solution is
The
the way
two-state
forward.
solution. That's
That
the
is
liberal
that
Zionist
is what
talking about.
a liberal Zionist.
You keep saying you're in
would
favor of
advocate for.
two-state, but like, why? So of course, me and my fans are going to call you a fucking Nazi baby-killing Zionist fucking ghoul. Of course.
I feel like there are two-state people who were less toxic than Ethan was, who did not attack the pro-Palestine movement, who did not see that as more of a danger than the actual fucking genocide in Gaza. Right? I can tell you, what's wrong with the two-state solution, that it generally, especially under the current conditions, ends up looking a lot like apartheid, right? That's the problem with it. But I will tell you, there are people who believe that, and yet somehow do not manage to have the series of bad and ignorant takes that Ethan Klein has. I think that there's two-staters that are better than, Ethan, even though I don't agree.
I think that's a fair assessment. I don't want to speak for these people.
In my video, that was my takeaway too, is that it's like he's one state, I'm two state.
Chat, I kind of prefer not being able to hear him. Should I take my headphones off again?
And apparently being two state is like genocidal, I guess.
That is not what people were on about. Nobody was like, Ethan Klein is a two-stater. Oh my God, did you know that Ethan Klein is a two-stater? Oh my God. Ethan, you did not get canceled for saying two states. You did not fucking get canceled for saying the U.S., the previous U.S. State Department talking point.
It's fine.
And he's like, whoa, this is anti-Semitism. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. What kind of fucking moronic attitude is this? Just don't talk about politics. Just go back to fucking talking about, gooning or...
Gooning?
They tried to blame Hasan as if Hasan was the beginning of all... Yeah, the anti-genocidal movement.
You talk a lot about gooning.
I don't know.
No, not really.
I don't remember ever talking gooning, but okay, I'm a gooner apparently. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of sounds like something that he would ask his crew to explain to him. So now, what is this gooning thing all about? I keep on hearing about gooning. What is that? And they're all trying to explain. They're trying to explain what a goon session is to Ethan. It feels like it's something that they would cover, but they would cover from the angle of Ethan doesn't know modern internet culture. Ethan is a bit of a time capsule.
Okay, very well done, very good. We're very
good point.
Very poignant criticism of me.
Justin Baldoni or...
By the way, this guy covered Justin Baldoni. He did.
Oh my God, got him, Ethan.
A ton of Justin Baldoni videos. He did. Just saying.
He's saying that you know more about Justin Baldoni. You actually, he doesn't. Yeah, the Justin Baldoni stuff, didn't Olivia have to walk him through that? Pretty sure exactly that happens in an episode. You talking about today's episode, Attack of the Hank?
Ain't nothing wrong with talking about our boy JD.
He got in trouble for it.
JB.
Talking about gooning or Justin Baldoni or... is happening online.
Yeah, I was a little bit thrown for the loop by the fact that Hasan said talk about gooning. I was like, wait, when did Ethan?
You're clearly not.
He should have said eel pit. Just go back to talking about the eel pit. Your chat still wants to know about the eel pit.
Intellectually equipped enough, and you got fucking deluded by a sex cult. Okay, Destiny was able to fucking brainwash you over the course of a year.
Bro, I don't know him. I can't get over how funny this shit is. I
can't get over how much fucking evidence there is linking your complaints with Hasan with that exact community. Even you on stream live talking about things directly after they were posted in the Destiny Discord.
They need me to be Destiny's best.
You might not be his Destiny, but you are definitely in his Discastiny. No, God. Chat, am I losing you here at Discastiny? You're definitely in his Discord, okay? You're getting those Discord notifications.
Friend in the whole world or something. That's the only way they can engage with this conversation. Also, he called me dumb. Did you guys notice that? I feel wounded, frankly.
It's too far, to be quite honest.
Only I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir.
Ethan, you are profoundly ignorant in a way that's sometimes strains belief.
I am very smart, I'll have you know. I have heard that consistently throughout my life from my mom.
Excuse me, sir.
You fucking liar. But I mean, it does speak a lot to his character in that this guy was alleging to be my friend for 2 years.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. And I really don't want to speculate on anything that might be medical. He had COVID a week or two ago. But no, the coughing started before that. And it's been going on for a really long time. Yeah, I really don't. I got no insight on that. It's
Now he's like, no, he's actually the dumbest person alive. He's a liberal Zionist, the dumbest person alive, and he shouldn't even talk about politics because he's such a fucking loser.
Wait, he did? He exposed himself to live today? God, we got to catch up.
It's like, okay. Well, I thought
I'm behind on my Ethan.
Friends. Well, I thought we were friends.
And we have so much more than just Ethan to talk about.
I feel he's really showing his ass here. He's the frat boy. He's dropping the good guy veneer, and the frat boy dipshit is coming out now.
Oh, yeah, Wandering Scorpion. Yeah, I think you're referring to Destiny's subreddit. Yeah, where did Ethan get that meme of the Streamer Award nomination list with Rogan? Yeah, that photo edit, which is what it was, because, you know, he's wrong about what he was saying about Frogan, but that exists at r/Destiny.
I'm sorry. You got a child's brain. Go enjoy childish things.
A child's
the fuck is
brain?
wrong?
Come on, bro.
I mean, you're not fucking serious, that's for sure.
Come on. Come on. That's so below the belt. I have a grown man's brain. I think about grown man shit, and you know it. Think about dinner.
He's a big boy.
I think about, yeah, what are we going to do for dinner? I pay bills. I employ people.
You buy.
He's looking like Charles Manson. Oh my God, I see it now. No.
Stocks.
That's right.
No.
Buy, sell.
By the way, how's that tariff war affecting the S&P?
The stock market like barely moved today, which is fucking
50 points or something.
Who the fuck knows what's going on anymore?
Well, he closed.
It's just their new thing. Throwing up a lower third here. Big man brain Ethan. Like just kind of a weird little comic editorial, I guess.
Closed the deal with Mexico.
Well, I saw that they
IDO.
said they're pulling back on the Mexico thing, but apparently still moving forward with the Canada thing. So
they got to make some compromises up there in the north, man. They got to send some like roadies to the Mexican border.
S&P closed at minus 45 points.
I actually could. That's not that bad considering.
Not that bad at all.
Considering.
Imagine complaining about someone being mean to you, after doing half hit pieces on them for a solid half year, while they've been incredibly gracious to you. Yeah, this is the whole thing. It's like Hasan didn't agree with what Ethan was saying, but he thought that overall, because he'd heard Ethan talk about Palestine in the past, that Ethan was a decent human being. And that he tried to intervene with the chat. And basically just explain some people are just fucking ignorant, and that's all it is with Ethan. He's otherwise a good guy. The following half a year or year and a half, however long it was, proved otherwise, proved that that's not true.
He's like, let's just raise the price of everything in the world by 20% for no reason.
Bro, he's strong-arming Canada. You don't want the 51st
strong-arming them
state,
into
man?
what?
To become hither.
How are you going to magically annex Greenland? Like, why Greenland?
At the start of the...
I don't. They're like, what?
He's like,
what is happening? Trump
See,
tariffs on Canada.
there's a reason that I'm fast forwarding through Ethan's political analysis. It's because it's fucking worthless. It's worthless, Ethan. Roe versus Wade, is that the gay one? Klein, I don't need to hear your political takes. They're just profoundly uninformed. They're garbage. Chairman Trash says, I generally feel bad for watching Ethan. This is just drama for stupid people, all of us included. Look, if people learn not to be like Ethan, on issues like this, I will consider it not entirely meaningless. I will consider it to have some redeeming value. That being said, there is a lot of a tendency to get sucked into the personal aspects of this drama, and I guess that's what Ethan is trying to milk right now. But yeah, one stream that only lasts an hour because you're going to release the nuke that day, right? After a week of already missing a stream to get the nuke out when it didn't come out, right? And then the next week is 2 shows about Hasan, right? After your audience kind of feels like you owe them some hours there, and instead you give them 3 shows in a row on Hasan Piker, and who knows, maybe there's more. I don't know. I think he's gonna play what is he? He's doing like poker tomorrow, so maybe he'll give it a rest for one day. I don't know.
Sort of negotiating tactic, but then people asked, what can these countries do to avoid this happening? And he said nothing. So it's like,
why are we doing this?
Why are we doing it then?
Yeah.
Join the union.
He keeps doing this thing where he does something horrible, and then it's like, so I've decided to remove the sanctions.
He does
like,
it on purpose.
I saved you guys.
I guess
he does it on purpose.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Marking tanking.
I can't take this
bullshit. But wouldn't that? It would be more than one state
For Canada.
Zach's the one that we need them too.
I say we liberate.
I spent way too much time in this, and Wednesday we're gonna do it all again because there's so much left to talk about.
Did you see the meme?
So this is Tuesday. He's already, or Monday. He's already saying that Wednesday is going to be another Hasan themed show.
What about you being upset that we're still talking? Yeah, I saw it.
It's weird because for Hasan, talking about any Ethan Klein stuff is kind of like an imposition. It's like getting in the way of content that Hasan wants to do, that Hasan would normally do. But, you know, Hasan talks about it and then moves on. Whereas with Ethan Klein, it is serving as a substitute for content over and over and over again.
I'm pulling it anyway.
I expected nothing less.
We can get through it today. Let's get back on topic.
No.
Let's get back on topic.
We're going to get through it. We're not even getting through the video today.
We can absolutely get through it all.
Sorry, you got
Slam, brother. Yeah, speed it up.
All right. Let's see.
Child's brain. Go enjoy childish things. The fuck is wrong with you? Why do you have...
Okay, bro, just because I play Plants vs. Zombies with my kids doesn't mean you get to insult me and call me a childish brain. That game is more complex than you think, bro.
Plants vs. Zombies?
Yeah. Plants vs. Zombies 2. And it has a really robust multiplayer system, bro. 1v1. It's fucking awesome.
That game is goated. I played it.
Yeah. Did you play the ladder?
No, I played when it first came out. I think last time I played it was probably like 2018.
They have a ladder system. It's really fun.
I'll check it out again.
Where basically you just...
Guys!
Dan, this is important. You compete to see who gets the most points, but you have to pick certain plants. It's very cool.
I'll check it out.
The prizes are good too.
You guys know that Plant vs. Zombies was in World of Warcraft for a while?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my, dude, you have a child's brain.
Dude, it was like 2010, and if you did that, you got the pet. And I have the pet. You haven't been able to get it in 10 years.
What an instant. Oh, you have that.
I have the pet.
Is it valuable?
I can't trade it.
Oh, it's untradeable.
But it's valuable to me. Yeah.
It's cred. It's street cred.
Yeah, it's street cred for sure.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Have to like literally do politics. Your fucking fan base hates it. You're clearly all the people in your...
I mean, your fan base hates it. They're all gone. My fan base likes it now. Because I'm spitting...
What? Is he saying they're all gone because there's a lot of people watching Denims react to the content nuke?
Straight facts. No printer. Bitch. You really want my fans to hate it. You tried your best to make my fans hate it. And you were successful in definitely alienating.
They're still in the chat complaining about this. The fans do hate it. It's not the content that they signed up for. It's not the content that they came for. And frankly, Ethan, you're kind of a second-rate drama channel. Ethan is down 7.76 subs on the main channel. He's down 50K on the H3 Productions after putting out the content nuke. Literally just the content nuke popping up in people's feeds caused 50,000 people to say, no thank you. I no longer want to be subscribed to this.
A lot of them from me, but unlike you, I try to stick by my morals and not be captured by my audience.
You have no morals. You have vague ideas of things, black holes of ignorance, and inductive logic. Emotionally led inductive logic. This is not about morals. This is not about history. This is not about doing the right thing for the children. This is about your fucking ego. Sorry, Chad, I got a little mad there. Wow, I broke the pause button. That's
for sure.
Narwhal by Nature, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Also, Ellie's so crazy. You just got weaseled. Lexi, you just got weaseled. John Moe, you just got weaseled. William C. Holmes III, you just got weaseled. And Established Minch, you just got weaseled. And that's a good thing. Thank you, Narwhal by Nature.
You do not listen to the audience. If there's one thing I know about Ethan Klein.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate that because it's. Listen, we live in a world where it's increasingly harder to not get captured by your audience because when you say something they disagree with, that it's like hell to pay and it feels horrible and it sucks and you don't want to feel like your fans hate you, but like people are so fucking insane online that it's kind of become a thing, and especially when you're doing politics, something as charged as that, you know.
It's up there.
Palestine conflict and all this. But anyway, yeah.
Vicinity hate it, and you're still like, nah, I'm the number one guy. I'm the number one politics guy. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I'm number one in politics, baby. Listen to what he's actually saying. What he's actually saying is, despite people being angry at you, you've actually stuck to your beliefs and continue to talk about it. You weren't silenced by mass brigading and criticism. So you're dumb.
You are descending into a persecutory complex, Ethan. That's what this is. You're like, no, I'm actually really good. I'm like the only good person. Everybody else would have admitted that they were wrong and given in to the mob mentality, but I know that I am right because that's what my feelings say, and I can't admit that I'm wrong, and that is sticking to your principles. That is what a good person does. I am the last good person left in the world, and I am suffering because of my... everyone hates how great I am. I'm the bravest fucking soldier. I'm the bravest soldier.
Okay. Very good.
Hey, dude, there's plenty of fucking dumbasses. Go ahead, have a right wing. Do your.
This is another thing they do. Oh yeah, he's fallen down the right wing. The right.
Well, let's take a look. Yeah, Ethan's incredulous about this. But Mike Figueredo had a video on this.
That's it. I'm a right winger now, and because I criticize Hasan. That's it. That's all it takes. Criticize Hasan, and you're a right winger. I mean, it's fantastic.
Little right wing tilt, I guess.
It doesn't get much more right wing than being on the side of fucking colonialism. It doesn't get much more right wing than doing fucking propaganda for ethnic cleansing. But I don't know, Ethan. I mean, you're pretty fucking ignorant. Maybe it doesn't look that way to you.
Yes. And then maybe you can find admiration again, but it's probably not going to happen. You got my fucking phone number. We can have a conversation on.
Again, I've said this before, but when Hasan, for example, explicitly, when he was like, I like Hezbollah, I have no problem with them, I texted him. I was like, you know what? Before I feel like I'm getting to the point where I have to address this because it's bothering me so much. Before I get to this point, I think I need to reach out to him at least and see what's there. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, bro, what you said about Hezbollah is pretty fucked up. Like something to that effect, maybe more. And he didn't respond. So, you know, Also, I don't know what kind of conversation you expect to have to me when your point is I have a child's brain and I'm dumb and
Wait.
conservative. Like, it's not really a great starting point.
Your stream.
Well, come on and disprove him then. If you want to show that you know what the fuck you're talking about, come and talk about it in real time with the subject of your hit piece. Come and have a nice little conversation with your good buddy Hasan. Chat, I am looking at Mike's channel right now. Like, does he have two channels? Is like one of them Mike Figueredo and the other is the Humanist Report? No, it's the Humanist Report, right? It's the same. Why can I not see? Did this video disappear? The latest stuff I see is like leftist mafia stuff. I swear to God, I saw a new Mike Figueredo video. Specifically about TYT and Ethan. And the connection there.
We can have a conversation on my stream. Last time I had and you cried like.
Why is it all censored?
I don't know what he tried to say there.
What is this uploaded from? Oh, whoever uploaded this censored. He said he.
Oh my gosh, they must believe in censorship. They must be big fans of censorship. That's what their deal is. They're like, let's have some censorship, baby. Let's make some censorship happen. Let's get some censor. I love some censorship. Let's get that censorship going. Or it could be that their videos do better when they have less of certain words. Yes. Figure it out, Ethan. You're a YouTuber. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. I mean, this guy really got lucky to get in early when there was a very low bar for content creation. Very low bar indeed. And he just does not know what it's like to actually have to build a channel. And yeah, one of the things you do if you have the time and the resources is to try to take the curse words out of there, or the words that are going to get you demonetized out of there.
The fucking baby gloves on.
Yep.
Humanist Report is for his content, while the other channel... Okay, I must be on the wrong channel then, Isaiah. Thanks for pointing that out to me.
We can have a conversation on my stream. Last time I had
Oh, this is
and you
from
cried
his
like
VOD channel. I know they.
Oh, he did it.
That's my guess. I'm not sure though.
So Hassan says,
"Oh, there it is."
Time, which was our last conversation on his stream.
Scary in America.
I had
communism.
You heard that right. The scary thing that's brewing right now in America is communism, not fascism.
I found it, chat. I was looking at the wrong channel, but yeah, this comment completely saved it. Isaiah, thank you. That was the comment. I don't know if anybody else said this in chat, right? But that's what I was doing. I was on the wrong channel. He has multiple channels. I just not aware.
Even though the fascists are in full control of our government and they're crippling institutions and dismantling the administrative state as we speak, the real threat is actually communism. Yeah, makes sense.
Always was, Mike. Always was.
In case you don't know who that is, it's comedian Ethan Klein of the H3 podcast. And even though he tried to say that in a funny way, I promise you, he wasn't trying to do satire. It's what he unironically believes. Now, I don't know how familiar my audience is with Ethan Klein and the H3 podcast, but if you aren't familiar with him, I know that you've at least probably seen this incredible moment that he helped to facilitate.
Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare. I had no idea this was going to happen.
Oh no, Sam Cedar.
And now it's all come full circle because Ethan Klein is now the one who refuses to talk to Sam Cedar, much like Cenk Uygur of TYT.
It's kind of like you can tell who the bad guy of every era is by the fact that they won't talk to Sam Cedar.
Who's also currently crashing out like Ethan Klein. And as Jimmy Dore slid further to the right a couple of years ago, he too refused to debate Sam Cedar. So it feels like Sam Cedar has become the de facto final boss of grifters and crash outs because they know that he would easily expose their bullshit, hence why they avoid him like the fucking...
And he enjoys that kind of thing too.
plague. But an existential fear of Sam Cedar is not the only thing that Ethan Klein and Cenk Uygur, as well as Anna Kasparian, have in common. They've all been cheered on recently by the far right for punching left. Ethan's been applauded by the likes of Tim Pool and Keemstar and Ian Miles Chong, all for his smear campaign against his former co-host Hasan Piker. Now, on the subject of similarities between the H3 and TYT,
I believe his name is Hank Pecker.
Crashouts, we also saw how the far right showered Anna Kasparian with compliments for her birthing person tweet. Ethan Klein also hates Hasan. Anna Kasparian, she hates him too. Cenk doesn't, so he gets a little bit of a pass there because that's his nephew. Both TYT and H3 are fueled by personal petty grievances and hurt feelings.
It's weird though, because Anna's now talking in tweets like she's part of the family. Like Anna's chiding Hasan on how he treats his family, which is not something that you should let somebody say about your nephew if you do not, in fact, feel that way. And if you do feel that way, it's kind of cowardly that you haven't said something. He won't talk to Sam Cedar supposedly because he's insulted by the implication that he requires another Jew to explain it to him.
Ethan and Cenk claim everybody else has changed while they're the ones who've remained consistent. In fact, there's a lot of similarities between the H3 and TYT crashouts, but ironically, Ethan Klein is able to see what's happening at TYT, but he doesn't have the self-awareness.
So Ethan has the internalized image of the left that is identical to a right-wing strawman of the left. So when he thinks about things like identity, he thinks, oh, that's a trump card, right? So, you know, I can pull, well, you know, it's actually my identity, Hasan. I wish you would respect that. And that wins the argument by default, because that's how the left works. That's how intersectionality works, right? That's how it works. Yeah, it's like the same view of the reversed oppression hierarchy that Ben Shapiro will have. But that's really how Ethan thinks the left is. And in his grifting to try to appear as being on the left, he's invoking that shit. So then Hasan says, okay, well, if that is the problem, if that's the hangout, if you don't want to hear this, you know, from somebody who is not Jewish, you know, Sam Cedar also thinks this. Have a conversation with him. Like, you know, do what you need to do to get over this, because Hasan never really wanted to harbor any sort of bad feelings for you. And for a year, you have attacked anyone slightly adjacent to him, obviously spoiling for a fight with Hasan himself.
Awareness to see that he's had a similar trajectory for the same reasons.
Speaking of which, have you noticed the co-host from the Young Turks, Anna, what's her last name, has gone like full.
Yo, Sasha G, blowing us out with the 10 gifted subs. Back 5, you just got weaseled. Dusty Den, you just got weaseled. The Fenley, you just got weaseled. Intuitive Medium, you just got weaseled. Nowhere, you just got weaseled. I know Bashfu, you just got weaseled. Melina, you just got weaseled. T.O., you just got weaseled. Maya Catchair, you just got weaseled. Allison Murray, you just got weaseled, and that's a good thing.
Trump and Cenk too. They've both gone like pro-Trump. It's so crazy. Check it out. It's fucking weird.
They have?
Yeah.
Now, to clarify, Ethan hasn't gone full MAGA, although he has made some reactionary points, like he berated one of his producers, Olivia, for pronouns. I think he called her woke, if I remember.
No, he's not pro MAGA. He's just the worst kind of possible liberal.
Remembering correctly. So, you know,
he's the most doomed kind of liberal possible. Why can't mods get weaseled? Is that true, Ophelia? You may have to enable. That would be weird if YouTube did it like that. Chad, is this true? Can mods not get weaseled by other people?
Some groundwork there being laid for a right-wing pivot.
81%?
Wittingly or unwittingly, but Ethan Klein is incapable of...
How is my math this bad? What do I have?
seeing that minor disagreements with the left and an inability to accept good faith criticism is ultimately what broke Cenk and Anna's brains, and it's the exact same thing that broke his brain too. But he hasn't changed, apparently. He's not grifting. The real grifter is his
you're right.
host who mildly criticized.
That is how math works.
So in the same clip that we just watched,
that is how math works.
Hassan Piker of being the one to pull a Dave Rubin, albeit a reverse Dave Rubin.
I think he did like what Dave Rubin did, but like the other direction. He realized that like he could farm more audience going that direction. And Dave Rubin thought, well, I can farm more audience going to the right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So that was it. Hasan is sitting around at TYT. Be like, man, I'm tired of selling ads. You know what'd be nice is to get behind the mic. How would I make the most money getting behind the mic? Should I do what Cenk and Anna do? Should I do what Douglas Lane does? Not working for Douglas Lane, so maybe not. Or maybe I should do an actual left-wing show. An unabashed left-wing show. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one with all the money. The left-wing show. That's the one that makes all the money. That's what I'll do to make my millions.
Doesn't seem to be coming from a very serious...
Parthenon, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Whoa. We're breaking the membership records. C. Blaze, you just got weaseled. Wesley Todd, you just got weaseled. Gratis Gravy, you just got weaseled. Kiki Dawn, you just got weaseled. Mr. Fixit, you just got weaseled. And that's a good thing.
Left leaning though. Dave Rubin did like a full flip.
Yeah.
Like, Dave Rubin was
I want to make the maximum amount of money. What should I do? Maybe I should attack the very concept by which rich people are rich.
Left to right.
By the way,
yeah, see, even his producer Dan didn't agree with him because it's laughably fucking stupid. But it's not lost on me that Cenk Uygur likened his new nemesis, Sam Cedar, to the likes of Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin as well, even though he's the one that's on that trajectory with those people.
So finally, after somebody does it 1,000 times, we're like, all right, fuck it. Here's who's doing it, and fuck them, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh no, I can't believe you're saying that about poor Jimmy Dore.
This is my favorite thing about Cenk. I shouldn't like this chat. I feel like he's doing like weird, like chat. It almost feels like
He does it 1,000 times. We're like, all right, fuck it. Here's who's doing it, and fuck them, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh
it feels mean to laugh at him, but he does this shit and nobody fucking likes it. It's not cool. It's cringe.
no, I can't believe you're saying that about poor
I feel bad at
Jimmy Dore. I can't believe you're saying that about poor Dave Rubin. I can't believe you're saying that about poor Sam Cedar. I know. Poor Sam.
Interesting, right? So there's a lot of similarities between H3's crash out and TYT's crash out. But even though Cenk and Anna might bitch and moan about criticism that they get from the left, they have never gone so far as to call for leftists to be deplatformed because of their disagreements. And that right there is where Ethan Klein stands out as the biggest piece of shit in this situation. Because he's launched an all-out campaign to deplatform Hasan Piker. We're not just talking about him disagreeing with Hasan Piker and criticizing Hasan Piker. He is trying to destroy Hasan Piker, his former friend and co-host. But I want to back up a little bit and give you some additional context, so that way we're all on the same page, because again, I'm not sure how much of my audience is familiar with Ethan Klein, but I want you to know how it got to this point. So after October 7th, both Ethan and Hasan...
Oh shit, wait. Asmongold said he was 89% sure about the events of World War II. I thought he said 99% sure, but yeah, he's like implying like he's got 1% believes in denial of those events.
seemed to be on the same page for the most part, but soon after, some disagreements began to emerge. Ethan Klein supported a two-state solution, whereas Hasan supported a one-state solution. Ethan Klein made comments that were tone-deaf and, frankly, idiotic and offensive by claiming that Jewish Voice for Peace wasn't sufficient evidence of Jewish opposition to Israel, and he invoked kapos to make that point. And the audience did not like that. Now, at that
Yeah, I agree, my mind blues. We should seize the means of production and stop repeating history. We've had enough exploitation already. It's time for it to stop.
point, he ended
It's time to move towards a moneyless, classless society, don't you think?
the Leftovers podcast with Hasan because of the pushback that he thought he was receiving from Hasan's community specifically, but it wasn't just his community, it was Ethan's community too. I know this because I've been a part of Ethan's community longer than I've been a part of Hasan's community. I'm a fan of both of them. Now, I had to take a break from H3, and then I returned after he made those terrible comments. And when I returned, one of the first episodes was him making fun of Aaron Bushnell behind a paywalled episode.
Artist Riley says, in Hassan's full response to Ethan, you can see how he's hurt. Yeah. No, like he was just trying to be, even after he realized that, you know, how bad Ethan's takes were on this. He didn't wish Ethan any ill. And yeah, you know, he knows there's a ton of people that, you know, have a liberal Zionist perspective and are full on, you know, two-state solution and don't seem to mind if those two states look an awful lot like an apartheid system.
Bushnell, for those who don't remember, is somebody who self-immolated. He is a U.S. veteran who self-immolated to protest our complicity with Israel's genocide. And to see Ethan Klein respond in the way that he did, that was when I had to check out for good, because I just couldn't get past his disgusting take.
Mike was a huge H3 fan, damn.
To also conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. He later spent an entire episode shitting on Hasan Piker, and during that episode, his Lebanese staffers had family in Lebanon that had to evacuate because they were being bombed by Israel. He centered his feelings during that entire episode, didn't even let them share their experience. That's insane to me. He later claimed recently, actually, that Joe Biden was actually good.
Look, my Attack of the Hank says Hasan did not always see Ethan as a moron. He saw Ethan as someone ignorant of politics, but either eager. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. I thought I was going to disagree with you for a second there. I agree with that. Eager to learn more than Ethan didn't like what he was learning. Well, yeah, and he was like holding on to shit that he doesn't know. Remember what he said about Xinjiang? He's like, isn't that the place where there was like doctors? And they were like, hey, we got all these organs that we could transplant. Anybody need a kidney? Anybody need a liver? We got plenty. And they're like, oh, where'd you get all those organs all of a sudden? Huh, this area, this specific area around Xinjiang seems to have a lot of organs on the market. I wonder why. I wonder if it's that the Chinese Communist Party has liquidated a large amount of the Uyghurs in order to liberate those organs. Right? And it's just like, it's a Falun Gong conspiracy theory. It's not even a conspiracy theory about the Uyghurs. It's a recycled Falun Gong conspiracy theory.
When it comes to Israel-Palestine, even though he armed...
And if we want to talk about tropes, right? You know, when we talk about anti-Semitism, we talk about the tropes of anti-Semitism. Well, what about the fucking trope? Like, isn't this like, you know, they're cutting out livers thing kind of go along with like a anti-Chinese trope? I don't know, chat. I don't know. There's something sussy about Ethan just accepting that with no proof whatsoever. I don't even know if he heard the right rumor or the right conspiracy theory. Like, it almost seems like he heard the Falun Gong thing, and then when he learned about Xinjiang province, he was like, oh yeah, that's the place where they were harvesting the organs. Yeah.
Funded them at every step of the way. His wife, Ela Klein, called Yoav Gallant a really good guy, even though he is the war criminal who called Palestinians human animals while announcing that he was going to be cutting off food and electricity to all of them, not just Hamas. And over time, These things that he kept saying started to add up, and the left-wing audience that he cultivated began to grow tired of this bullshit commentary that they've been hearing. And little by little, as he lost viewers and subscribers every single week, he began to grow more angry with Hasan because seemingly he felt like Hasan turned his audience against him, which isn't
Hasan blocked me. I can't stand Hasan.
true at all. He has a left-leaning audience.
Can't say, like, Hasan is the queen. Can't do nothing wrong. This is basically what he's doing. He's having a Rich Lux-worthy crash out, but instead of it being about Dan, it's about Hasan. He's literally doing Rich Lux. Like, how is Ethan substantially different than Rich Lux, you know, having this whole complex about Dan?
That just agreed more with Hasan, full stop. And I don't think I'm making unreasonable assumptions here, because Ethan has been pretty upfront about the fact that his anger towards Hasan stemmed from him having hurt feelings. And I say that because he included this clip in his content nuke of Hasan from a conversation that they both had just before he ended.
I'm glad we watched this tonight. This is good. This is good content. And like, I don't know, so much Ethan to cover. I want to cover as much of it as I can, but I can't let it make me miss like good stuff, like Mike's content. Like, Mike is one of my favorite creators out there, honestly. As far as what the stuff that I watch, that I click on just, you know, because I want to see it. And it's, you know, it's there's a lot of payoff to a Mike video. You know what I'm saying? I always learn something.
Ended the Leftovers podcast.
Do you care that your chat is calling me racist? Do you make any attempt to modify?
I have not looked at my chat.
Moderate that at all?
I have not looked at my chat.
Yeah. No, I saw what Asmongold said. I know what you mean, YS. It's fucked up.
At all, but you.
I just opened it, but don't you have moderators? Do you care at all about what your audience says about me?
There's 32,000 people in here right now.
I'm just trying to tell you guys how it feels. And I'm fucking shocked that you don't.
And he's all about that. He's lost in his own feelings to the point where he won't recognize any facts. And in this case, the facts are actually more important than your feelings.
The people in your chat are saying, "Who the fuck is this child? Cold,
Ethan,
arrogant,
Ethan,
as fuck."
I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
How can you be surprised when your Discord is literally full of fucking?
Ethan, I love you, but
all right, yeah, like I just wonder, was Ethan rage baiting Hasan's chat on purpose? Like at this point, like I didn't think so at the time. I thought he was just kind of like in his feelings a lot. But now this kind of looks like he's just rage baiting Hasan's chat so that then he can complain about them.
There's only so much I can do.
Now, to be clear, Hasan was banning people who were being purposefully antagonistic towards Ethan out of respect for him and their friendship. I know because I was there. I saw Hasan on stream ban chatters who came in talking shit about Ethan Klein. He tried to get his own chat to see it from Ethan Klein's perspective as a dual citizen of the US and Israel. But that wasn't enough for Ethan Klein. And ever since that moment, his hatred towards Hasan has grown and festered. You know, for months he's been stewing, and it's reached the point where Ethan Klein is not only comparing Hasan to literal neo-Nazis like Nick Fuentes, but he's also accusing him of being a terrorist sympathizer. And worse, he's trying to get Twitch to ban Hasan, and he used this content nuke to encourage his viewers to call for an advertiser boycott.
Here we go. This is what I was talking about.
Super chatted $5. This is the exact same vibe as Thanksgiving this year. Mike is so right.
Same vibe, different season. Actually, no, I guess this is both winter. I want it to be a different season, but yeah, same vibe, different month. There we go.
Out of Twitch.
Thank you, Narwhal, for the.
I made this video for two reasons.
Super chat.
First, to stop Hasan infiltrating mainstream.
Oh shit, look at that.
Hasan has been welcomed by many mainstream outlets. They view him as a friendly social democrat, as someone who's just trying to spread progressive politics online to an important demographic. But we know that's not true. He is not their friend or their ally. If you ever see Hasan rubbing shoulders with anyone from
Wait, it is a different month, right? Jinxgiving, fall? Now? Winter. Yeah, it is a different season. I was right.
Let them know politely, with all the civility in the world, what kind of person he is when he thinks mainstream media isn't watching. Help them understand that his name.
Why are we concentrating on his nail polish.
Should be associated with people like Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones, other fringe radical political commentators. Number 2, Twitch must be held accountable. Twitch has proven that it will not change by choice, and so it is our moral imperative.
And look at this, like, okay, so like I said, in an essay format, you know, your content is supposed to be focused on the statement that you introduce in your thesis, right? And then should be kind of summarized in the conclusion. This is Ethan's conclusion, though. This isn't a summarization. This is a call to action, and it's a brigade. He ends it instead of the, you know, any attempt to summarize what he said. It is a call to action, and it is a most heinous one. One of those usually looked down on severely by content creators. Right? The guy that can do this shit is the guy that's bad for everyone's business. Right? He is willing to piss and shit in the punch bowl. He is willing to ruin everyone else's ability to make money over his own goddamn ego. Fuck this guy. Nobody wants to have anything to do with this guy. Guys like this, right? This is the worst kind of guy to have to deal with.
Enact that change through any reasonable means that we can. Samsung, Chevron, and Capcom. Twitch has given them a lasting association with a racial tier list with Arabs at the top and
shut up, you lying liar.
Jews at the bottom. These brands have every right to know, and they should.
There we go. Call their parents.
We all recall YouTube's
call their manager.
Apocalypse. It happened when ads,
and it was a bad thing, and everybody fucking hates it, and everybody wishes that it had never happened.
Were running over ISIS.
And I mean, there was some legitimately bad stuff on YouTube, but goddamn, was it worth cutting, people's ability to make money on you to
recruitment videos, and it caused a brand exodus. The same thing is happening now on Twitch, but instead of ISIS, it's the Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah. Dan Clancy's
I don't think it was primarily ISIS that caused the adpocalypse.
Refusal to moderate extremists is the only reason for any of this.
Wait, I feel like I've heard the name of the actual YouTuber whose work basically inspired the adpocalypse, but I can't remember who it was.
Is the sole person to blame.
Yeah. Now, first of all, he is grossly mischaracterizing the racial tier list that he referenced there, and he got all of those small creators banned for a month because of his outrage over that. But now he's trying to cause adpocalypse on Twitch to kill everybody's channels, so that way they'll all be mad at Hasan. So that way other creators will try to sacrifice Hasan to the gods of the advertisers in order to spare them. Now,
I don't think that's how it should work. I think that small streamers on Twitch that cover politics should be aware that it is Destiny, Dan Saltman, and Ethan Klein who are doing this to them. We got to stand together as political content creators on Twitch. We don't deserve to be demonetized. And we need to remember who the fuck did this to us.
Conspicuously enough, Ethan Klein doesn't have the same energy for the right-wing streamers who push red pill manosphere bullshit to young men, or for the fascists who are spreading genocidal hate speech towards trans people and immigrants and also Palestinians. He's targeting Hasan simply because his fucking feelings are hurt. That is what this is about. Meanwhile, as he's coping and seething, Hasan is having the time of his life. Hasan was in Japan feeding capybaras in a French maid outfit while Ethan Klein's content nuke dropped. And you could tell that Hasan is not bothered by Ethan's bullshit because he knows that...
Variant says it was Matt Watson. You're talking about the person who whose YouTube channel basically inspired the adpocalypse?
He's right. Conversely, Ethan Klein is extremely bothered by Hasan because deep down he knows that he's in the wrong. In times like these, we need people like Hasan more than ever. So, when we're trying to fight fascists and you want to take away a prominent anti-fascist voice, Ethan, I take that personally, right? You are trying to cripple the left's ability to fight fascism by targeting one of the loudest voices that we have in this space. Now, in his 1 hour, 40-minute long content nuke, Ethan claims that Hasan should be deplatformed not because his feelings are hurt, but because he's promoting terrorism in a number of ways. So he says that since Hasan is promoting terrorism and that's against Twitch's TOS, well, they have grounds to ban him. Now, he makes this argument by including clips of Hasan broadcasting.
Yeah, Jurassic Park rules. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. And if you let those dinosaurs out, they're going to run wild on you too, Ethan. This is going to come back on you.
Videos of Houthis dancing.
Gamer subs.
Saying that that's terrorist propaganda. He accuses Hasan of not pushing back enough against the Yemeni pirate that he brought on his program. And a lot of these claims that he makes during this process are very poorly sourced. He clearly cherry picks headlines while not reading the article. And he makes a lot of rookie mistakes during this video essay. Not to mention, a lot of the clips that he used of Hasan were very clearly misrepresented or taken out of context completely, but he sourced these from Destiny's community, specifically their subreddit, I'm assuming. But to be fair, there were criticisms in that content nuke that he lobbed at Hasan that were reasonable. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I can understand why some of these things that Hasan says would be off-putting to somebody who's a...
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff like talking about people being inbred. Like, I don't think that's necessarily helpful. I think what he's trying to say, though, is that these are socially conservative people analogous to, the MAGA deplorables in the United States. That one of the points that Hasan always makes is about the universality of hogs. Every country has its hogs. Has its socially conservative, people that are just waiting for a fascist dictator to come along and, put ideas in their heads about which other they need to go after to make their life better.
Offended by edgy humor isn't necessarily on our side of the political aisle, so him saying that sounds extreme. With that being said, the crux of his argument here falls apart when you understand the double standard and sheer hypocrisy of what Ethan Klein is saying. So while he accuses Hasan of...
Oh my God, chat. I'm hungry for pickles.
...being a terrorist sympathizer, he doesn't hold streamers who literally make pro-IDF content to that same standard, even though they explicitly whitewash and justify IDF terrorism. Nor does he accuse those types of people, Lonerbox, Destiny, Brianna Wu, of promoting terrorism.
Chat, what does it mean if I have cravings for pickles?
He doesn't say that they should be banned. He just says this about Hasan, right? Now, he certainly doesn't hold his own wife to that same standard.
What is a pickle? Pickle is vinegar, a cucumber, salt, maybe some herbs.
She was a member of the IDF, which is a terrorist organization, to be clear. But since Israeli soldiers wear military fatigues and have the full backing of the U.S. government, well, he's incapable of seeing them as the terrorists that they are. So anybody who promotes them aren't necessarily promoting terrorism by definition because they're the good guys. Now, he also defends Ela by saying that Israel had mandatory military service, so she had no choice but to serve in the IDF, which is fair. But he never responds to the fact that she...
Chat, what's your favorite kind of pickle?
...willingly shared the fact that she...
Garlic.
...had a desk job with the IDF, but chose a different position within the...
Yeah, like roasted garlic?
...military.
Or pickled garlic? Oh God, pickled garlic. That is a treat.
She thought that it was too boring. And on that same podcast, she talked about how...
Spicy pickles?
She went on a raid to a terrorist city. Ramallah, specifically, is what she was referring to. And more recently, his wife, Ela, called the Israeli defense minister, who is wanted by the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity, a really good guy. Now, listen, I don't expect him to call his wife a fucking terrorist, obviously, but I do expect him to have a little bit of fucking self-awareness and maybe not lob that term around so casually if that's his wife's history. And on that note, YouTuber Bad Empanada did a thorough breakdown about this, and he explained how by Ethan's own standards, Ethan Klein is more of a terrorist than the Yemeni kid that Hasan interviewed. And that's important because it's one of the core pieces of evidence that Ethan Klein is using to supposedly prove that Hasan is a terrorist sympathizer. And that right there is the core issue that people like.
Pickled daikon is pretty immaculate. I like pickled ginger too.
Me? A former fan of.
Although, wait, when you pickle ginger, you do it with like sugar, right?
Ethan Klein take with this arc that he's on, this anti-Hassan arc. It is a double standard.
Turnips?
Clearly rooted in Western chauvinism, in Islamophobia, and quite frankly...
Wait. What are gherkins? Are gherkins just like a different kind of cucumber? It's like the cucumbers with extra bumps? That's what a gherkin is? I thought a gherkin was like a type of pickle. Is a gherkin different than a pickle?
And putting aside that issue, it's rich for somebody like him to condemn Hasan for his craziest takes when he literally...
Ooh, like salad mushrooms? Hell yeah.
...had to buy a $20,000 button for his podcast to purge oopsies that he made during live streams. I mean, we're talking about somebody that memed a little bit too close to the sun multiple times. He said that he hoped the NRA convention, when it was happening, I think it was 2023 or so, got shot up. He said that if there's another Holocaust, he hopes that Ben Shapiro is gassed first or last. And he admits that he says offensive things himself in the content nuke, to his credit, but he implies that Hasan's edgy comments are just too beyond the pale, whereas...
I thought a gherkin was a pubic wig. You're thinking merkin.
His aren't, I guess. And I mean, that's fine. You can think that, but it makes...
I don't understand merkins, okay? Because, like, I mean, I know some people don't like to have the pubes, and that's why they shave them. But it's kind of weird to, like, what's the... Like, a merkin is like a wig for your pubes? So that means you shaved your pubes, but at some point you want to be seen as having pubes. Then why did you shave them? Is it if you want a different color of pubes? Like you always wished you'd had red ones and a little bit more curly, or I don't know. They're used by actresses? Oh, actresses, yes. But like old school, right? This is like an old school thing, right, Saint Vitus?
You a hypocrite, especially considering how you literally built your fucking career
pickled cabbage
by making edgy jokes. And now he's taking to Instagram to attack people who criticize him. And he's even saying that, oh, this term crashing out is ableist. That's not his exact word, but that's what he's implying. So all of a sudden, this edgy guy who had to buy a $20,000 button to hide the fucked up things that he says.
Again, he's a 40-year-old child.
Is now the biggest woke scold and thinks that he can call...
He was groomed by Hasan.
...other people to be deplatformed, given everything that he said? I mean, it's just so fucking... hypocritical, the audacity of him, right? So it feels so weird.
Wait, they're for hygiene? How does it promote hygiene?
That all of a sudden he is the big.
Wait, so you if your pubes aren't thick enough, so you shave them and then you get a pubic wig to
internet, and he's calling for his former co-host to be deplatformed. And the worst part is that.
Have I ever tried Adshvar? I don't think so.
Ethan Klein, like there's this level of disingenuity.
Unless it's also named something else, and I'm not recognizing.
That is so frustrating. He feigns ignorance, for example, to Hasan's leftism at one point in the content nuke, and makes it seem like Hasan groomed him or exploited him.
Oh, if one is in a movie, they are presented with a degree of nudity, having extra camouflage may be preferred. Crossing one's legs. Okay, so it's a theatrical thing, shaving so you don't get lice and then recreating the visual. Okay, I mean, I'm not hating on it. I don't hate merkins. I just didn't understand. I mean, these are maybe some arguments for merkins. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. The way Ethan implies Hasan groomed his chat is the exact same argument right-wingers make about drag queens reading books. Yeah, he's basically, Hasan is a danger. He's corrupting the youth. Having pubes makes you less likely to get an STI. Good to know. It is made of mostly roasted peppers? Oh, that does sound good. Mind my blues. I love stuff like that.
To get to his audience, to radicalize them against him. And that's presumably how he reached the conclusion that communism is this dangerous threat brewing in America because, he saw firsthand how it affected his audience and, he's warning everybody else.
We were doing our regular show, and for the first time I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean,
communist invading radicals.
I thought we were social democrats, not whatever this was. I don't hate the idea of like people who can be successful. I think it's good that people can achieve success in the term monetary.
But who's doing the work for that success, right? When you're talking about success as in wealth, as in the result of using capital, who's doing the work for it? Yes, I love that wealth is created by human beings. I just think that the human beings that help create that wealth should get to use it. And that's not what happens under capitalism.
Success. I mean, that's what that means, right? I do. There's nothing wrong with that.
Because I see so many people in the chat saying no.
I don't know what y'all are tripping about. Like, what the fuck do you
What
want?
is the idea that
you guys
people
like
are
just
looking for?
You guys are all like radical communists? There's that many radical communists? Suck it.
Fucking boomer.
Chat.
Sorry.
You're watching a
It is like literally a McCarthy. Like, how is he not a boomer? He's got McCarthyism running through his soul.
Deal with it.
Now, he has cultivated more of a left-wing audience due to his proximity with Hasan and also because he kind of made a pivot after making pretty reactionary videos. But there were also a lot of people in his audience that have always been left-wing. People like myself who remember the cringe-worthy episodes where he debated with his producers, Dan and Ian, about whether or not billionaires should exist. That was insufferable to me, and I'm glad that he moved away from that and became more progressive with time. I mean, his audience was not happy back then. If you go
try Trillionaires next
back and watch those episodes, and they especially aren't happy now that he's running interference for rich people. So of course they're going to respond to you by criticizing you, especially again, after you moved away from that trajectory that you were on towards the end of the SJW era back in like 2016, 2017, where he was platforming racists like John Tron and hucksters like Jordan Peterson, twice for that matter. So to see you move in this better direction where you take accountability for your past actions, that was encouraging. So your audience is holding you to this new standard that you set for yourself. But he doesn't like that, right? But here's where his content nuke got especially fucking clownish. When he pretends like he was victimized by Hasan, who apparently lied to him about his true communist intent. And this right here is where we get into the Red Scare portion of the content nuke, and it is the most clownish shit.
Every time people say Red Scare, and I've heard them say it a bunch of times in association with this.
Super chatted $5. There's an H3 episode where he basically realized he didn't like socialism because that meant he would have to share more of his wealth with his staff.
Oh, that's hilarious. And the staff is sitting right there. This is what's so awkward. Like, in some ways, H3 is this like existential psychodrama of the modern era of late stage hyper-capitalist dystopia. You're sitting there with your boss. He's pretending to be your friend. The subject of capitalism comes up, and he's like on board with some kind of social capitalism or social capitalism. So some kind of social, some kind of democratic socialism, or some kind of social democracy, until he realizes that it might threaten the control that he and an extraction and exploitation that he enjoys over his audience, or his audience, I can't say this right, his employees. And it's like, oh, no, not for you. Oh, with y'all, sharing the wealth with y'all? No. I still want to control everything. I still want to get the vast majority of everything. No, I'm
never seen in my fucking life.
Although even with, like, I gotta say, theoretically what he does doesn't have to take the form of capitalism. I don't know to what extent, like, he owns the, means of production. So to what extent you'd call Ethan a capitalist, but like, when you're talking about, if the show was really centered around Ethan and people were like, I don't know, offstage facilitating him doing his thing, like, I mean, there's an argument to be made that that's that is like you know what I mean, like a musical artist or something like that, right? He's the artist. He's creating most of the stuff. He's creating stuff. Other people are facilitating that, but like he's at the center of the creative process. I don't believe that with Ethan. I don't think that's true. I think that the show relies a lot on its, more than any other show that I've seen. It relies on its crew almost more so than Ethan. Like, you know what the H3 podcast was like when it was just Ethan and Gila? It was terrible. It was unwatchable. He got much bigger guests, but it was just, insufferable and not, like, there was just nothing there. It wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't funny, right? Now that he's got the crew and, Zach is dropping in sound drops and Dan is chiming in, and A&B is chiming in, and Olivia, like it's a lot more interesting. He doesn't carry this show by himself, right? He is not the solo artist. He is very much dependent on his band, and I wouldn't even say he's like the key performer.
Now listen to Hasan during our very first conversation lie to me about how he's a social democrat to hide his power level.
He's got to hide his power level.
Sweden style economy or a Norway style economy, which would be a social democracy.
You have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda
with robust social safety nets.
Did he really put the echo effect on it? That is so
Cold radicalization funnel, catch them while they're young, as they say.
And
I mean, this is like the style of an afternoon special from like the, I don't know, 80s or 90s, but without the production value.
Protections for workers, like higher unionization rates.
A lighter form, while simultaneously still doing
this feels like amateur hour
propaganda that goes beyond social democratic.
Can Hasan 1v1 versus Goku? Goku or Goka? Gokanaru?
Hell, he's proclaimed it loudly that he is a self-described propagandist.
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no.
For the record.
I'm not calling
I'm a
you that.
propagandist.
I'm just saying. I'm going to play you.
I'm saying I am.
Okay, well then I'm
saying I am.
It's a weird thing to find because, what he's basically saying is if you advocate for any sort of ideology, you're doing propaganda, right? So, I mean, that's what Hasan is basically like, hey, whether you think it's right, whether you think it's real, it's propaganda, right? We're all doing propaganda. So don't you try to use that. Don't try to come at me with that charge because I am going to claim that up front. And I mean, I get what he's saying. I think it's like, because that's not the common usage of the term, it kind of sets him up to be taken out of context and lied about like this. But yeah, I mean, if you watch this Piers Morgan episode, you see what he's saying. He's like, I'm a propagandist and so are you.
I just want to put play it.
A propagandist is much more than someone with a bias. It's someone who knowingly lies to further their political agenda.
Okay, see, so that is, again, the conventional wisdom definition. Hasan is using a different definition.
Vision. Had I been duped? Was Hasan...
Had I been groomed?
Trojan horse to my community, where he was just a left-leaning Democrat.
By a man 3 years my younger?
Like myself. And as he said in the previous video, was funneling them into radicalization and turning them against me.
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate.
Had he seduced me into communist ways? Into acceptance of domination by authoritarian regimes?
People on the fucking planet, dude.
I learned how much he hates liberals.
Dude, I hate liberals, dude. I do. I hate them. I hate them so viciously.
Did he secretly despise me this whole time?
I'm sorry, dude. I hate liberals so much.
Did this man sit next to me for 2 years and pretend to be my friend?
Dude, liberals are a burden on this planet, dude. Liberals are the most like scummy, vile.
No, Ethan, we know who the fake friend is.
Fucking idiots. Liberals are incredibly stupid. I hate these petulant liberals, dumb fucking liberals.
What else is someone this sociopathic capable of?
How did we get to sociopathic?
To manipulate people on the fucking planet, dude.
Was I being manipulated this whole time?
That was my
I mean, that's a great way. That's a great way of illustrating H3's use of clips in this video and why it's not worthwhile for Hasan to react to. Because he's saying liberals fall for some right-wing shit an awful lot. And Ethan, you're a great example of this. You're actually a great example of what he's talking about. He's not saying that I have such an easy time manipulating liberals. I look down on them. I relish pulling the wool over their eyes, grooming them, tricking them into supporting my dangerous socialist takeover. And we got this supervillain mode, guys, supervillain mode, right? That is obviously not what he's saying, but Ethan puts it in there out of context and just pulls the wool right over his audience's eyes. Oh, look at that. He said it right there. Liberals are very easily fooled, so he must be fooling me.
Regardless of his true beliefs, that broke my trust in him, and I pretty much ended the show immediately. And I felt guilty for my participation in mainstreaming Hasan.
It is adorable that he credits himself for Hasan's popularity. That right there is peak delusion.
Oh, that's hilarious. I keep forgetting about that.
To Ethan's feelings. First of all, propaganda is a value-neutral term. It doesn't necessitate lying. He made that up. Second of all leftists have expressed anger with liberals for many reasons. Liberals have done the same. But liberals in particular, like Ethan Klein, they agitate leftists by choosing to focus their ire on the left as opposed to the fascists who seized power in this country. And he's not the only person who does this, to be fair. It happens all the time, which is why the left does get frustrated with liberals. For example, Olivia Giuliana, a pro-Democrat influencer, chose to bash Chappell Roan for calling for healthcare for musicians at the Grammys while implying that she didn't support Kamala Harris.
Oh my God.
She's lying.
They're still on Chappell Roan about this? They're still on her?
She did vote for Kamala Harris. She just didn't want to publicly endorse her because of her complicity with genocide. Moreover, liberals on Twitter spent Trump's first week in office bashing my leftist mafia co-host, Ariana Jasmine, for saying that she wouldn't vote for Joe Biden because as a Muslim woman, she couldn't overlook the genocide that he was complicit with. Never mind the fact that in the end, she did vote for Kamala Harris for purposes of harm reduction and showed up to the DNC convention to pressure them to platform a Palestinian speaker. She put in the work and she was...
Yeah, you can't blame anybody but the Democrats, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris for the loss.
Still raked over the coals for not sufficiently swearing fealty to the Democratic Party. So there's been this long-standing animosity between leftists and liberals because we are forced to share a party with people that have completely different worldviews than we have.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Servitus. He was talking about how Pierce was doing propaganda. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's like, I'm a propagandist, you're a propagandist. Now, I will say, I do feel like this is a departure from Hasan's, one of his key axioms. Be normal. All right? I don't know what he's doing, but the value neutral use of propaganda as a term, it's not normal. Normies think of propaganda as like what Ethan's saying. You're lying. So, you're setting up a situation where whoever is antagonizing you is going to have the path of least resistance on their side. And I'm just kind of like, is it worth it? I don't know, chat. Do you think he illustrated something? Do you think he taught some people? Do you think enough people got, oh, I see, you're both it's all this is being a propagandist doesn't necessarily mean that you're dishonest. We gotta blame trans people. That's right, Ophelia.
Liberals are capitalists.
It wasn't Kamala's fault. It was trans people.
Leftists are anti-capitalists. Liberals like the Democratic Party. Leftists do not like the Democratic Party. Although some of us align with Democrats to stop fascists, right? And we're critical of the Democratic Party because we want them to do better.
It's a neurodivergent trait that I and Hasan share. Yeah. Look, I do it too. But I mean, I feel like I've learned something from Hasan. Learned a little bit from Hasan.
And beat fascists, which irritate.
It was an easy gotcha on peers.
Liberals. But Ethan Klein feels like Hasan downplayed his actual beliefs to radicalize Ethan's audience. And
I don't know. I always try to. I don't always succeed. In fact, often I fail. But I always try to talk to my audience or talk to the audience, right? Because it's not like, I mean, there's you that's watching it, like my audience, right? But then, occasionally things escape their quarantine. And so there is the audience. I always try to address people in, the most normal way I can.
Ultimately turn them against him. But Hasan has literally never hid his views, ever. He has a bust of Lenin behind him. And I hate to break it to Ethan, but as leftists, we know Americans might be turned off by socialism or criticisms of capitalism, so we all try to meet people where they are by making arguments that are more digestible.
I mean, look, it's fair. I agree with you, Artist Riley. It's definitely fair. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, is it the best way to reach people, or are you kind of like putting yourself behind the 8 ball for some unknown reason?
To mainstream audiences. Rather than saying socialism, we might say social democracy or democracy in the workplace instead, since democracy is more familiar to Americans, whereas socialism seems foreign to them. Like, we're trying to craft arguments that resonate with people so that way they're not susceptible to fascist radicalization. If they're going to be radicalized, we want them to be radicalized in a good way. So that way they are speaking out for...
Well, what you're saying, Lizzie Rosa, is that the Communist Manifesto is more about capitalism than it is about communism. That's true. And also capital has a lot to do with capitalism.
Social justice and economic rights, which is really important right now, since, again, the fascists have all the power in this country. Kind of an important point. It's not deceptive. It's called fucking politics. Hasan and Ethan's audience were well aware.
Yeah, Hasan, the Communist Manifesto is not the handbook of... It's like we're mistaking a college brochure with a textbook. You know what I mean?
The fact that Hasan was very much anti-capitalist when they started that podcast. And if Ethan was somehow ignorant to that fact, if he was somehow the only person in America that didn't know that Hasan was a socialist, well, then that's his fault and nobody else's. But therein lies one of the problems. Ethan Klein is incapable of admitting that he's ever at fault. Sound familiar? While he takes responsibility for platforming Hasan, he, kind of eases his culpability there by suggesting it was only because he unwittingly was duped by Hasan and didn't know any better, ooh. And instead of trying to understand where his audience, who respected him, is coming from and why they're frustrated with the stances that he's taking, he instead blames Hasan for their disagreement with him and chalks it up to anti-Semitism. And Hasan pointed this out during a stream after Ethan dropped his content nuke.
Constantly pointing the finger at other people. It can't be me. It can't be the broad reception of my worldview.
Is he still drinking the instant coffee? Is that what he gets there?
Cannot be the way that people understand.
This is definitely not tea.
Where I'm coming from, okay? The way people have heard the same talking points over and over again from people who are genuinely deeply pro-Israel. Maybe that was the reason why people were saying that. No, it must be because of anti-Semitism. And it's like, it's not as though anti-Semitism isn't increasing. It is, okay? And it's something that I understand. It's something that many of these people that Ethan has falsely smeared as anti-Semitic understand. So especially at a time when there's motherfuckers like Nick Fuentes, Jake Shields, or numerous other like actually anti-Semitic monsters out there who are running rampant, hyper-focusing on people who are anti-Zionist and expressly and openly not anti-Semitic is certainly a choice.
Yeah, but according to Ethan Klein, Hasan Piker is just as extreme as Nick Fuentes, and you should focus all of your energy on making sure that Hasan is treated like we treat the Nazis. Don't do that to the fascists. Do it to somebody who's fighting the fascists. And on the subject of Nick Fuentes, to talk about treating Hasan like him, Ethan Klein doesn't talk about Destiny, who platformed Nick Fuentes. He has nothing to say about that in radicalization. He only has this fire for Hasan Piker. It's always left punching. But again, this is where these similarities between Ethan Klein and Cenk Uygur start to show again, albeit to a much lesser extent. So Cenk often equates the far left with the far right as if they're comparable, when they are not comparable, not even close. The far right wants a white ethno-state, whereas the far left wants free healthcare and social justice and freedom for workers. Comparing the two is tantamount to fascist apologia as far as I'm concerned, because you are sanitizing the danger that these fascists actually pose. They want to inflict pain and suffering on vulnerable people, whereas the left wants to stop that, wants everybody to be equal, wants everybody to have healthcare and worker rights. But even as people like Ethan Klein and Cenk suggest that the far right and far left are opposite sides of the same coin, one thing that's becoming abundantly clear.
Did we get an answer on that coffee? He said the coffee was not that great. Well, I know that it's really common to get instant powdered coffee in Japan because, like, one of the biggest, like, I think, don't you also whisk it? Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that, chat. Maybe I'm thinking of, I might be thinking of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for, well, I mean.
I find it quite fascinating. Especially the tea ceremony.
Ceremony schmerimony. Instant coffee will do just fine.
Look, see?
By the way, about...
But I literally don't know if it's supposed to be weird that he's using the whisk to make his coffee, or if it's that... I just know that, like, powdered coffee like that is super common in Japan. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about Japanese culture to know whether the whisking, the using of the ceremony whisk on, there's no way, chat. There's no way that they use the whisk on coffee. That would stain.
Is that neither of them have the same energy for the far right that they have for the far left.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's matcha. Matcha is made with the whisk. That's right. That's right. But in that cartoon, they show an English guy who, for some reason, wants coffee. Not very English. Anyway, they show him preparing instant coffee with a whisk.
And David Dole actually confronted Cenk about this on Twitter after he made this tweet, which reads, we have to talk to the other side instead of just calling them Nazi or racist. Far left.
It's proper for matcha, but not anything else. Yeah, because otherwise you'd stain your whisk with coffee.
You're straw man.
Yeah, everything else would take on the flavor.
We're not doing that. Then what's the problem? Far left, you're whitewashing them when you talk to them. How? Far left, by not calling them white supremacists. Now David Dole responded saying, bending over backwards to appeal to Nazis while having unhinged vitriol for the left sure is a strategy. He continues, bending over backwards to appeal to the right while attacking the left is literally what Jimmy Dore did, and we all made fun of him for it. Now you're surprised people are criticizing you for doing it?
Annabo says it was supposed to be weird, the matcha whisk on the coffee.
Cenk responded saying, you're still calling them Nazis. I thought you were one of the smarter ones, David. I guess I was wrong. MAGA is not destroying...
Wait, I'm sorry. How did we transition to Cenk Uygur?
...the Democratic Party and ruining any chance to pass our priorities. The radical...
Yeah, AeroPress is pretty tasty coffee.
With lunatic positions like crime doesn't exist. David responded saying, that's a complete straw man. Please show me a video from anyone, myself, Majority Report, Fran, whoever, saying crime doesn't exist. You're just making things up. The left is also very clear about their hatred for the Democratic Party, and you know that. The argument I'm simply making is, why is your vitriol for the left so clear and consistent while you go over the top to appeal to people like Charlie Kirk and Elon Musk? Cenk responded to that saying, you pretending as if all the radical left hosts were just minding their business when we, out of nowhere, attack those poor innocent folks is the biggest load of bullshit. That's why you lying like this is weird and disappointing. They attacked us with vicious lies first. David responded saying, simply not the case. Ole went on your show to discuss her perspective as an activist and attorney, and you immediately made it an adversarial interview. Anna, to her credit, was trying to keep it civil, and that was after months of attacks, which is awful because that contributes to their... Hasan offered to speak to Ethan and debate him about his criticisms. He even offered to facilitate a conversation between Ethan and Sam Cedar, and Hasan is going to explain...
I don't think Mike is actually linking TYT and Like, other than their crash outs being okay, that's what the video is about. Yeah.
Like Ethan Klein and Cenk suggest that the far right and far left are opposite sides of the same coin.
There we go.
One thing that's becoming abundantly clear is that neither of them have the same energy for the far right that they have for the far left. And David Dole actually confronted Cenk about this on Twitter after he made this tweet, which reads, "Me, we have to talk to the other side instead of just calling them Nazi or racist. Far left, you're straw manning. We're not doing that. Me, then what's the problem? Far left, you're whitewashing them when you talk to them. Me, how? Far left, by not calling them white supremacists. Me, Now David Dole responded saying, bending over backwards to appeal to Nazis while having unhinged vitriol for the left sure is a strategy. He continues, bending over backwards to appeal to the right while attacking the left is literally what Jimmy Dore did, and we all made fun of him for it. Now you're surprised people are criticizing you for
this is the thing that I don't understand, how Cenk and Ethan can't read the room enough to see that this is how they're looking. This is how they appear from the outside.
Doing it? Cenk responded saying, you're still calling them Nazis. I thought you were one of the smarter ones, David. I guess I was wrong. MAGA is not destroying the Democratic Party and ruining any chance to pass our priorities. The radical left is, with lunatic positions like crime doesn't exist. David responded saying, that's a complete straw man. Please show me a video from anyone, myself, Majority Report, Fran, whoever, saying crime doesn't exist. You're just making things up. The left is also very clear about their hatred for the Democratic Party, and you know that. The argument I'm simply making is, why is your vitriol for the left so clear and consistent while you go over the top to appeal to people like Charlie Kirk and Elon?
I will say, though, the difference between Cenk and his crash out and Ethan and his is that whereas from Cenk, you get the accusation that you're too close to the Democratic Party. You're running cover for them, right? You are he's virtuous because his opinions are different than that of the or he doesn't like the establishment, right? And with Ethan, it's almost the opposite. It's like, oh, what, you don't like the Democratic Party? What, you don't think that Kamala Harris was going to stop the genocide? You know what I'm saying? Like dog. Like, you don't think that Kamala Harris is going to put an immediate stop to the what? You don't think that Joe Biden single-handedly brokered the ceasefire? Come on. It was obviously Biden.
Musk. Cenk responded to that saying, so
they're kind of the opposite in that, but yeah, there is a parallel.
As if all the radical left hosts were just minding their business when we, out of nowhere, attacked those poor innocent folks is the biggest...
You did attack poor innocent folks, all right? And those people stood up for those folks. Because unlike you, they are actually progressive.
Of bullshit. That's why you lying like this is weird and disappointing. They attacked us with vicious lies first. David responded saying, simply not the case. Ole went on your show to discuss her perspective as an activist and attorney, and you immediately made it an adversarial interview. Anna, to her credit, was trying to keep it civil, and that was after months of attacks on powerless, as in not in positions of power, left-wing activists, trans activists, and otherwise weren't doing activism in a way that you thought was correct. Cenk responded by saying, I get it, David. You also want clicks. He says this because he has no other response to it, because David is right. Here, everybody, look at how self-righteous and morally pure David is. He also hates all rational strategies. Give him some clicks. Ole was arguing for abolishing prisons. Is there a dumber position? David responded to that with a death blow, saying, bro, looking at TYT, I think you're the one that needs clicks. I'm doing just fine covering news and politics. This won't be...
Yeah, I don't know. I see what you're saying, Lizzie and Chazardus. Like, Star Trek is a little bit globe emoji coded.
On my channel, you're not as important as you once were.
Little bit.
Responded to that angrily, saying, great, then fuck off. Also, why is every left-wing channel...
But I do also appreciate Star Trek.
doing videos about us, and how are they, the brave ones, willing to call everyone Nazis, but we aren't? Make up your mind on your talking points. Are we grifters who did it for a larger audience, or is our audience dwindling? Finally, David responded saying, again...
Or it could be both. It could be that you did it for a larger audience. The larger audience, they are replying to your tweets. You know, the right wing is engaging with you on Twitter. They're just not engaging with you where you need them to at your YouTube channel.
Literally no one is saying that, LOL. You always make these claims that left-wing channels are calling you a Nazi and never produce the evidence. I don't think you're grifting. I think you've made a horrible mistake thinking you can appeal to cult members when there's a mass exodus of liberals from MSNBC that you could be attempting to move left. So as you can see from that exchange, Cenk is exhibiting a lot of the same characteristics as Ethan Klein is during his crash out too. The grievance politics, the victim complex, the left punching.
Yeah, that's all there. That's all there. But yeah, they're like mirror images of each other. You know what I mean? They're like the same, but backwards.
Never admit that they're wrong about anything ever. The ironic allegations that their critics are the ones who are grifting and not them. The lashing out.
Wait, is that called chirality?
Which Ethan Klein has done quite a bit, not
Chat, anybody know about chirality? Am I talking about chirality here?
just at Hassan Piker, by the way. He lashed out at Ludwig for daring to point out that Ethan shared a...
Like your hands, you know? It's chiral. As opposed to your hands being mirror images. Well, wait, they are mirror images, aren't they? That's why that's weird.
fake screenshot in his content nuke that he sourced from Destiny's subreddit. Now he also viciously attacks Frogan for the most
chirality
disgusting reasons ever. He's attacked Anthony Sargon, who is a Lebanese leftist.
Oh God, yeah, I saw that today. It was really gross.
Who was also a former fan of Ethan Klein, and he seemingly, like Cenk and Anna, reads and responds to literally every piece of criticism that he sees, which is awful because that contributes to their brain rot and accelerates the crash out. And I mean, if you're not gonna listen to anybody's good faith criticism, then why even read it in the first place?
Yeah, basically.
It doesn't make sense to me. And it's just sad because, like, I respected all of these people at one point. And it's sad because Ethan, Anna...
Yeah, he really did. He's trying to get away with a lot of...
They've all chosen to further insulate themselves in different echo chambers instead of engaging with people who used to be their friends that have good faith criticism towards them. And now, so many bridges have been unnecessarily burned. Hasan offered to speak to Ethan and debate him about his criticisms. He even offered to facilitate a conversation between Ethan and Sam Cedar, and Hasan is going to explain how that offer went.
I tried changing his mind. Maybe this time I'll bring Sam Cedar, and you'll be the one saying, oh my God, Sam Cedar, what a nightmare, because, you know, you've been running away from him. Yeah, I wonder why Ethan Klein won't talk to Sam Cedar. In private correspondence, I told you, I said, hey man, I know you don't respect me, because he's claimed that I wasn't like talking to him at all. So I said, hey, I don't think you respect me at all. But you respect Sam Cedar, you should talk to him. You should talk to him about this issue. He has a lot of lived experience. And he said that was anti-Semitic. Everything is anti-Semitic.
And that right there is how you know Ethan Klein has lost his goddamn mind.
Indeed. Okay, so, I don't know if we're gonna have, like, were we gonna miss something in Ethan's content, chat? Are we gonna miss the needle in the haystack? Because there's like Hasan stuff too.
You got baited into doing drama.
And there's bonus content.
Stream. We can have a conversation on my stream. Last time I had the
this is
and you
from
cried
his
like
VOD channel.
You got baited into doing drama. I mean, you're right. Did you bring 3 monitors? No, I always bring 1 monitor. He's not fat man. He's skinny man bad. You were looking at Barack Ravid's tweet too. Someone who isn't even anti-Israel. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, this is like, that's the funniest part about.
Do you see what that is, chat?
About such issues.
Oh my God, fuck! I didn't mean to press that.
People say like,
do you see what that is though? Like, these are Israelis throwing down and stomping on food shipments bound for Gaza. And Ethan was like, what? I think these seem like, he was like, I think it looks like they're helping.
Oh, Hasan, you're a supporter or whatever, right? And it's like, I'm relying on Israeli news for most of my coverage. Okay? By the way, you have to see this one. Ethan Klein, in his latest display of ignorance, refers to the Israelis attacking 8 convoys as benign dudes who look like they're doing charity.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. These are benign dudes doing charity, and they're literally throwing food on the ground. What kind of charity, like, destroys food shipments?
Afraid to debate Hasan directly about such issues. These inbred fucking douchebags in the background.
Like these are just
dude.
dudes standing
A
back
nation
there,
entirely
like,
comprised of messy.
And this is an ongoing like joke with this community. These are just fucking benign dudes. Just I don't know what the they're doing. It looks like they're doing charity.
I know what they're doing. Yeah, that's awesome. He said they look like they're just benign dudes, look like they're doing charity. They're literally far right Jewish supremacist fascists. They're not doing charity, big dog. They're stealing. They're stealing the UNRWA aid. They're stealing the aid. And the people filming them are actually describing what they're doing. It's on the video. This is why I'm saying, like, what a ridiculous person, man. I don't know why he's still doing it.
Or something. It looks like they've got water or box.
He also doesn't understand, like, look, he does not understand this very important part of the conversation is that like you can get, told you, I said, hey, pro-Israel news virtually everywhere in mainstream media. Okay. Everything is massaged in a way to make it seem as though Israel is not a fascist apartheid state doing a genocide. Even when,
oh crap, actually I want to show you this one.
I don't think Black Lives Matter is anti-white racism. Right. There's a reason why I'm an advocate for black people. I don't want black people to be disproportionately harmed by the police. Okay. Ironically enough, this is an argument that I presented to Ethan initially as well. And then everyone was like, nah, dog, you don't understand. This is actually, you're promoting anti-white racism. You want a million different clips out of context where you've talked about things where it makes me feel like you're on board with the Black Panther Party, which is a terror cell. You know, the American government had to prosecute and assassinate their leadership and then spent their entire time.
I mean, from what I could see, Joe, people were throwing the aid on the ground and stomping on it.
Constantly repeating that over and over and over again, and then simultaneously aligning themselves with the likes of Keemstar, Tim Pool, and numerous other right-wing There's currently a civil war happening in Diddy G, as many are accusing Dan Diddy G defender Saltman of collaborating with Ethan Klein on the content fluke. Yeah.
Chat, is this the bad channel? Does anybody know?
Of course they did. What do you mean? That's not... How is that a speculation? Ethan is literally also trying to do a mass email campaign to try to get Twitch banned or try to get me off Twitch directly. He realized that his YouTube video didn't pop off, so now he wants to like do a direct email campaign. He has become everything that he used to despise about.
He's become death, destroy over worlds. No.
Content creators. Yeah, he used multiple posts from their sub.
Ew.
Pretty wild.
Keempool? Oh my god.
You can just, I don't know. You can just be like, hey man, this is a bad.
Will they do the LolCow IRL podcast?
Bad person. Here is a 2
The LolCast IRL
clip compilation of everything that I believe leads.
This one is the bad channel?
Into thinking that
Archive bad.
He's a bad person, I promise you. And then people will just be like, yeah, that's right. I guess that's the case.
How is this shit getting into my algorithm?
To your face in your podcast episodes, I know. Like Ethan's behavior over the past year is something that
it's a bot channel.
We used to make fun of together on the Leftovers podcast. Like
they changed their name.
Like Tim Pool or Dave Rubin or Steven Crowder or any number of different people that behave like this, and now he has become that person. And he's and the people that we used to make.
Well, yeah, I don't know, Lizzie. Is it the only one that's clipped this, or is it the only one that I'm seeing in my algorithm that's clipped it?
Fun of like Keemstar are on board with his actions. Like he's got Tim Pool and Keemstar rooting for him. All these like drama slop tubers rooting for him, and no one in his community goes, "Wait a minute, are we aligning?"
Steve Sayers, one of these content creators, covered masquerading the Treasury Department. Can you guess which one it was?
With some weird people here. Is
one of them.
Community dynamic changing a little bit? Are we actually still a progressive community? Because it sure seems like we're losing our, we're losing our grip on being a progressive community, slowly but surely. Is this your base TikTok account?
Communism sucks. Everyone knew.
Okay, I'm not watching some AI slob like this. I think he's mad that no other big YouTuber is talking about it or cares about it. I just don't. I don't know where this goes for him. Like, I don't know. I think it's
Yeah, I swear to God, there's Hasanami fan channels that I used to see all the time. I never see, it never ends up in my algorithm.
fair to the H3 community to call them less progressive because they're attacking you.
And I feel like, I swear to God, I follow them.
Community to call them less progressive because they're spending most of their political activism attacking a progressive content creator, probably the largest progressive content creator in North America, over a disagreement on an apartheid state committing a genocide. I feel like at what point, okay, let's swap the dynamic. Let's not actually talk about Israel. If the same exact thing was occurring over, I don't know.
Yeah, Sarah, I was talking about this earlier, and I really think that AOC has it right when she says that the key to dealing with the torrent of shit that is raining down on us right now is to understand it thematically instead of like, you know, every single, you got to pull back and see the forest, I guess, is the idea. You got to see the theme, you got to see what's going on, and you know, the overall goals that they're angling for, and that's the way to deal with it. Because yeah, you're right. There's a strategy employed by Steve Bannon that Trump and Musk are doing right now called flood the zone, and it's literally part of the effect that they want is that their political enemies are overwhelmed and scared and put into a mental state where they're not very productive. And the key to avoiding that is to start looking for what the theme behind you know, Trump's actions are, and then that'll give you the inflection points to push back against.
BLM. I think most people would understand, oh, maybe we're not that progressive. You know what I mean? Imagine I'm like...
That is an epic turtleneck. Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to get one.
No, I'm pro Black Lives Matter, and I don't care. Like, I don't think Black Lives Matter is anti-white racism. I'm an advocate for black people.
Well, I mean, it's not to say that there's nothing important, you know, in the, you know, minutia, and that their distraction tactics are often to go after marginalized groups who actually really are vulnerable and do need defending. So it's a little, yeah, it's not a simple thing. I understand why people are overwhelmed.
I don't want black people to be disproportionately harmed by the police, okay? Ironically enough, this is an argument that I presented to Ethan initially as well. And then everyone was like, nah, dog, you don't understand. This is actually, you're promoting anti-white racism. You want a million different clips out of context where you've talked about things where it makes me feel like you're on board with the Black Panther Party, which is a cell, you know? The American government had to prosecute and assassinate their leadership and then spent their entire time constantly repeating that.
Mind Blues, he kind of does.
And then simultaneously aligning themselves with the likes of Keemstar, Tim Pool, and numerous other right-wing content creators. At a certain point, you would have to realize, like, maybe you're either A, being duped, or B, no longer as progressive as you are, or as you thought you are. Especially considering that, you know, a lot of this conversation revolves around calling me un-American and pro-enemies of America. I don't agree with them defending gender or Israel. I think they can still be progressive in other aspects like domestic issues. Yeah, I'm just saying, I think you're... wait, why are you... Yeah, okay. Strasserites are also pro social safety nets. You know what I mean? Nazballs. I guess they're woke now. You know what I mean? Yes, there's a concept in progressive circles and in socialist circles called progressive except Palestine. This has existed for a very long time. The only reason why it's become a major contradiction now is because a lot more people are aware of the actual dynamic that has been taking place in Israel. And that is pissed off people. Anyway, we're moving on. I heard something about Dave Rubin being progressive except Palestine and eventually did a whole pivot. Yeah, that's how Dave Rubin started as well. That's literally how Dave Rubin became more right-wing. Unironically, he was a progressive except Palestine guy. it's kind of crazy to think about because it was so many years ago. But back in the day, yes, when Dave Rubin was at the Young Turks, he was a fairly progressive person, except for the issue of Israel. And it broke his fucking brain. And now he's just like completely right wing, obviously. And it took many, it's just like crazy to think about. Would be easier to move on if you didn't talk about it, but reacted to the whole video, bro. This drama just needs to be put to bed already. If you think, first of all, me not reacting to the video really pissed
Wait.
him off.
Oh shit. Is this the same one?
I just clicked on Twitter and the first thing I see is just something insane. The nuke is ruining my relationship. My boyfriend defends Hassan. I thought I could ignore it. I don't want to control what he consumes and just told him to not watch Hassan in front of me and he agreed. Now with all this new information about, I can't ignore it anymore. I can't even look at my boyfriend. I really don't want to start a fight, but I can't say anything anymore. How do I go about approaching him on this? I know it's going to be a big fight. This got to be fake, right? Like, that's so sad, man. What the hell? Nah, there's no way. There's no way that's real. Wait, what? What? You should respond? Dude, that's crazy. I don't want... I mean, what? That shit just busted my brain a little bit. It broke my brain a little bit. Like, how? It was fake. There was another post in your subreddit saying something. All right, anyway. There's currently a civil war happening in DDG as many are accusing Dan DDG defender Saltman of collaborating with Ethan Klein on the content fluke. Yeah, of course they did. What do you mean? That's not... How is that a speculation? Ethan is literally also trying to do a mass email campaign to try to get Twitch banned or try to get me banned off Twitch directly. He realized that his YouTube video didn't pop off, so now he wants to like do a direct email campaign. He has become everything that he used to despise about content creators.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's like everything that H3 represented because of their struggles against people trying to go after them for transformative content. Remember, they made copyright claims on people from the Snark subreddit. Adam McIntyre goes over this. And, you know, this whole thing causing an adpocalypse because you lost an internet argument.
Yeah, he used multiple posts from their sub. I think it is pretty wild that you can just, I don't know, you can just be like, hey man, this is a bad person. Here is a 2-hour clip compilation of everything that I believe leads me into thinking that he's a bad person. He's a bad person, I promise you. And then people will just be like, yeah, that's right. I guess that's the case. Ironic that he make fun of people like this directly to your face in your podcast episodes. I know, like Ethan's behavior over the past year is something that we used to make fun of together on the Leftovers podcast. Like we'd be literally making fun of like Tim Pool or Dave Rubin.
Yeah, Tori, I'm glad I don't have that problem.
Or Steven Crowder, or any number of different people that behave like this. And now he has become that person. And he's and the people that we used to make fun of, like Keemstar, are on board with his actions. Like he's got Tim Pool and Keemstar rooting for him, all these like drama slop tubers rooting for him. And no one in his community goes, wait a minute, are we aligning with some weird people here? Is the community dynamic changing a little bit? Are we actually still a progressive community? Because it sure seems like we're losing our, we're losing our grip on being a progressive community, slowly but surely. Is this your base TikTok account?
Communism sucks. Everyone knew.
Okay, I'm not watching some AI slob like this. I think he's mad that no other big YouTuber is talking about it or cares about it. I just don't. I don't know where this goes for him. Like, I don't know. I think it's unfair to the H3 community to call them less progressive because they're attacking you. You think it's unfair to the H3 community to call them less progressive because they're spending most of their political activism attacking a progressive content creator?
Do not worry, podcast. Let me give you the link to this so that everyone knows where to follow this channel. This is Anthony Sargon and company on the Do Not Worry podcast. So I would highly suggest you check out. All right, so what did they talk about this week? Content nuke. Oh my god, Destiny fans want to dox them? That's terrible.
We love you guys. So first, the content nuke. I reacted to the content nuke. I watched it live. It was kind of a watch along, I would say. It was 2.5 hours or so just watching it. I personally, and I know a lot of people were complaining that I was looking at my phone. Folks, I was doing the stream by myself. I was using my phone to look at the chat, okay? I was looking at the live chat and trying to...
Oh, that's tough. That's actually tough.
So people are like, why aren't you answering? You're not responding to Ethan's...
I have noticed that, though. Anytime I look at anything on my phone, people think I'm ignoring chat.
He made the same arguments he's been making for the past year. We have responded to each and every one of those arguments in various podcast episodes over the last, like, at least 3 months. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Like, I'm not going to talk about the same things over and over again. It was mostly a watch along. I was kind of excited to see if I was going to be in the content nuke and how much of me he was going to put there. If he was going to say my name, mention the show's name, that's why I was
So chat, he did watch this. So, I mean, I don't know. Did they mention, did they show Anthony in the content nuke? I can't remember.
Watching. So it wasn't the most, point by point reaction, but I mean, hey, it's my first solo live stream, and it was already almost 2 hours. How long did you want?
By the way, chat, this is the bonus content. I kind of moved into it. Usually I count, but it just looks like this was winning by so much. 51%. That's a majority. It's got 51% of the vote. It's got 15% extra from Dono Goal. I don't think that anything is going to overtake this. But again, if you donated, feel free to let me know where to, which of these topics you want, and I will add a bonus to that as well. But it just kind of looks like this is going to win.
The video to be like uninformed leftist did like a point by point reaction. It's like 5 hours long. Ladies, did you guys watch the content nuke?
No.
What did you watch? Did you watch some of my stream?
I saw some of it with you. It was like 2 a.m. and
yeah,
that
me too.
was it.
I saw some of it when you were watching it because I was like, I got a notification that Anthony was live. I didn't know he was doing that, so I was like, what's he doing? So I was like, the nuke is on.
I was also streaming at like I started at midnight and I finished at 3 a.m. So I was like fucking exhausted. I hadn't had dinner. Like I told everyone I was gonna get shawarma. People started sending me like donations for my shawarma. Thank you. It was
so cute.
It was a delicious shawarma.
But yours towards Ryan Beard? Yeah.
Down some time codes in case since you guys haven't seen it, of like the most, I guess I would say, significant moments that I wanted to talk about, or just some of the points that I wanted to just focus on. There's a lot. Again, it's a very long video that Ethan made. We can talk about it for hours, but let's just take a second and just react to some of the points that I wanted to look at. So for the first part is how he opens the video and says that the biggest threat to America is basically communism right now. Yeah, so let's check that out.
A more perfect union, not tearing it down.
Marching bands, a pride that only
the thing is, there's something kind of scary brewing in America. Communism.
So in a country where you literally have Elon Musk standing on stage and doing a Sig Heil, doing a fucking Hitler salute, where you have Donald Trump sending immigrants back to their countries by like the boatloads, and fascism is on the rise, for Ethan to make a video and the first thing he says that like the biggest threat to America currently is communism, and to attack a leftist commentator who is against Donald Trump, who stands against everything that Donald Trump stands for, I mean, that is kind of insane. You know what I mean?
Is he conservative now?
I mean, you would no, but that's the pivot that he's slowly but surely making, and it's soon enough he's going to be selling
a little bit. He's definitely anti-woke.
Bunker food on his show.
He's going to be on the Right Wing Grifter podcast with Steven Crowder. Sorry.
Another point that he made, he highlighted this Sneeko fan. We're going to talk about him.
Super chat, just because. Oh, thank you, several Vox Populi. It is.
Beefing with this.
I've had that I gotta say, chat, of all the content of Ethan that I've watched, the song "That's America" has been stuck in my mind. It's terrible. I mean, this is meme worthy. I guess, is that why they brought it up in the first place? They were definitely making fun of it.
This guy on Twitter for the past 2 days, okay, this fucking dumbass. But Ethan talked about him, so I just wanted to say that this guy's an asshole. Let's just watch that real quick.
Nazi Zionist. And because of Hasan and others spreading this malicious lie about my beliefs, I'm even getting harassed on the street.
So how come you don't like Palestine?
I like Palestine.
No, you don't.
Why do you say that?
Because, bro, you're... wasn't she in the IDF?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Mandatory service.
That's sad.
Awkward.
That's terrorism, bro.
She was born there.
That's sad. I feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit.
That's
you look like
crazy,
a rapist.
actually.
You look like a fucking rapist, Ethan.
That's kind of crazy.
Feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein.
Well, we'll talk about this guy in a little bit more detail later and my beef with him on Twitter. I just don't want to interrupt the Ethan video.
Your beef? Wait, so Anthony's in a beef with dating and money.
Fuck, bro, you're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist.
Okay, he ate him up.
This is such an old technique, just desiccated.
Coward Americans in the South trying to act like they're so tough. Oh, I'm American. Oh, you don't even run your own.
Yeah, no, that's true, Narwhal by nature. Dating and money is not a Hasan fan. That is spoiler.
You don't run your own country, bro. You don't run your own country.
I mean, this is like a red pill guy.
Named Israel. Run your country. Oh my God, bro, I love you. Hasan, can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro. I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro.
You can tell Hasan doesn't want anything to do.
Make it seem like this guy is a huge fan of Hasan's, and Hasan actually responds to this in another video that we're gonna look at later. This dude was literally stalking them, and like at the event, he didn't even know who Hasan was before meeting him there. So we're gonna watch that footage a little bit later.
I love you, bro. You're the coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay in that one. Hold on.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one. Hold on.
Okay.
The funny thing about me.
And you can tell that Hasan is like super uncomfortable in that interaction, like he's not at all enjoying that with the dude. Also here there was another, and this is where this part is hilarious. This is where he makes his terrifying realization that Hasan is actually a socialist, which he didn't realize before. You know, Ethan hadn't seen any of Hasan's videos. He didn't see the Lenin bust in his room right behind him where he streams. He had no idea.
Play it.
A propagandist is much more than someone with a bias. It's someone who knowingly lies to further their political agenda.
And then I had a terrifying vision. Had I been duped? Was Hasan presenting a Trojan horse to my community, where he was just a left-leaning Democrat like myself, and as he said in the previous video, was funneling them in...
Hasan, I just thought he was a left-leaning Democrat like myself.
Left-leaning Democrat.
Left-leaning Democrat, bro. Like,
That's what I always got from Hasan. Yeah, left-leaning Democrat.
For a moment, think that Hasan was a left-leaning Democrat is kind of funny.
To radicalization and turning them against me.
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the fucking planet, dude.
I learned how much he hates liberals.
Dude, I hate liberals, dude. I hate them. I hate them so viciously.
Did he secretly despise me this whole time?
I'm sorry, dude. I hate liberals so much.
Did this man sit next to me for 2 years and pretend to be my friend?
Dude, liberals are a burden on this planet, dude. Liberals are the most like scummy, vile fucking idiots.
The editing and the music and like the black smoke around him. Did Hasan lie about our friendship? Did he sit next to me for 2 years pretending to be my friend?
Liberals are incredibly stupid. I hate these petulant liberals, dumb fucking liberals.
What else is someone this sociopathic capable of?
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the fucking planet.
Was I being manipulated this whole time?
Did he interview the guy or did he debate the guy?
That was my fear anyway. Regardless of his true beliefs, that broke my trust in him, and I pretty much ended the show immediately.
Something else that I kind of want to talk about.
Guilty.
Why is he being so stupid? Is that on purpose?
Yeah, I think it's being overdramatic on purpose, but it's falling flat.
No, the video, it was extremely...
It's a very dated video.
Unfunny in my opinion.
Like, I didn't realize a video could be... Like, it's so chug. It's not even chug. It's not even chuggy.
This part I kind of talked about this. I found it a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, like traumatic, but like, not traumatic at all, but like a bit of, tiny bit of PTSD on my end.
I think it's funny.
But it's not just this video, I'll explain. So, Ethan just using an animation of an explosion of a nuke just for fun, in a fun like takedown YouTube video, is so offensive to actually both Arabs and Israelis who actually have to face like bombings. Like, I was at I talked about this before. I was at the August 4th blast, and
the irony is, yeah, we're in the discussion of a war that with genocidal implications. You know, that this is the metaphor he's going to use.
Beirut when that happened. I thought I was going to die. I literally was in the third largest non-nuclear blast in history. So
is it chuggy? Do you know what it almost feels like pre-chuggy?
Explosions. I just find kind of disturbing.
Like elder chuggy.
Now in movies, in video games, it doesn't hit the same for me as it used to back in the good old days. You know what I'm saying? And for Israelis who also live in fear and also have to hide in bunkers from explosions, from rockets that are coming from Hamas or from Hezbollah.
Like, he's not a Gen Xer, right?
Using this sort of thing, I find just like for funsies and to make like a silly point on YouTube, I just found to be completely unnecessary and just shows how little Ethan kind of understands people from the area, even though he claims he does, and he's married to an ex-IDF soldier, terrorist, ex-IDF terrorist. So I just found this unnecessary, and what follows this is even funnier.
Can you just shut the fuck up, bloodthirsty, violent Facebook?
Could it be proto-chug? Yo! I know what that sound is. That's the sound of Echoplex Media. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, streamer. Good to have you all here. We're in the middle of watching a little bit of bonus content, which is what I do with my audience every night when we hit the dono goal, which we have. They get to choose through a poll on YouTube what we end up watching. And it looks like for tonight, it's the Do Not Worry podcast. I don't know if you've heard of these podcasters. This is Anthony Sargon, who I guess was featured briefly in Ethan's recent content nuke, but not mentioned by name. So yeah, we're in the midst of reacting to this. Good to have you here. My name is Irene Geller. I am nocommentchick. And yeah, you're tuning in to the very it's like if this stream was a dessert, this would be the whipped cream. You're not at the cherry on top just yet, but you're like, you know, you're getting there, right? So that's where we're at. We're enjoying the delicious frothy whipped cream that is bonus content. And I'm going to stop talking and get back to the content, but I just wanted to say thank you for the raid, Echoplex Media, and thank you for coming in to spend some time with us, Raiders. Good to have you along with us.
Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video.
ExpressVPN. So
Yeah.
he actually managed to get us. Now, that is kind of impressive that he managed to get a sponsor, but that brings us to something that I do kind of want to mention here real quick. Ladies, I'm going to cut to you guys as I pull this up.
Content nuke brought to you by ExpressVPN.
Yeah, that is the most absurd thing.
Do they know?
So someone brought up, and Ethan tried to make it seem like it's anti-Semitism, but I do think there is some merit to what I'm about to talk about.
Sorry, I was lost in the chat.
Oh, no, check it. Anything interesting in chat?
I banned someone.
You banned someone? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fair. One second. I kind of lost where I put it.
Wissam Kamal was in the chat.
Oh, Wissam Kamal.
He says he's proud of how the show evolved.
We love you, Wissam.
We love you, Wissam.
We love a big fan. One of the best Lebanese stand-up comedians, folks. Wissam Kamal. So one thing that I want to mention. So Ethan mentions. So I saw this basically. Oh, tissue. Here you go. We are going to. Sorry, folks. So Ethan mentions. I'm just gonna highlight. This was from the H3 Snark. Shout out to H3 Snark, the greatest snark community on Reddit, I would say, because they seriously are. And Mike from PA said that they're like the most level-headed snark community. So someone mentioned that Ethan's content nuke about Hassan was sponsored by ExpressVPN. The video included a 1-minute paid advertisement. Here is an article detailing.
Wait, did I just skip past the? Oh yeah, I did, because I was like, chat, we're not doing an ethical react today.
The ownership of ExpressVPN. The owner is an Israeli billionaire, Teddy Sagi. Now, Ethan is going to mentions in this Instagram story that I'm going to share with you that this is anti-Semitic. And while I agree, I hate it when people go like, but look, the CEO of Disney's a Jew, or like this person's Jewish. That means it's a conspiracy. I think that is anti-Semitic when people go to start pointing like who's Jewish and who's not, and try to point it, make like some kind of conspiracy.
I mean, I get what you're saying, Hackle thing. Sargon is maybe an unfortunate last name to have after the Sargon from Akkad.
I think that shit is completely insane and disrespectful. And here, Ethan calls it out. He said, we do a little bit of anti-Semitism in the Hassan Piker subreddit. He's highlighting someone mentioning that ExpressVPN is owned by an Israeli billionaire. But what Ethan fails to mention, and why this is relevant, is that this Israeli billionaire is not just any billionaire. He actually has donated large sums of money to the IDF. So here is an article. Israeli billionaire.
Israeli billionaire?
Israeli businessman Teddy Sagi gifts NIS 1 million to fund taxis for soldiers. He also he salutes discharged IDF soldiers with scholarships and jobs. So, I mean, he has donated large sums of money to the IDF. IDF are the ones murdering Palestinians, genociding them by the tens of thousands, potentially hundreds.
Can we nickname him Sargon of Akkad? I believe so.
They've murdered thousands of Lebanese people. We don't need to speak about their crimes. So it's just insane. And if any of you, by the way, Lebanese people, if you're using ExpressVPN, time to fucking boycott that shit. No ExpressVPN. Use Surfshark. Use any other VPN. But it's
no.
So messed up. And I do think Ethan says like, oh, do you think like the only reason they joined our video was because they're Jewish? No, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Tom Ward was telling them that this video is going to attack like anti-Israeli content creators or like anti-Semitic content creators, and that may have swayed, because who wants to touch this video? What kind of sponsor wants to be associated with this kind of video? I'm not sure, but I do think that it's not anti-Semitic to point it out because the guy has donated such large sums of money to the IDF. Minute 28, he suggests that Frogan is getting money from Qatar, which is hilarious.
Everyone's getting money from Qatar, apparently.
You think Qatar likes women?
Oh, sorry, did a phrase here?
Anti-Americanism like nobody else. In fact, you guys got him on the front page, and he's doing terrorism for free. Basically, gentlemen.
He's not been on the front page since like October.
Frogan, you look good today, girl.
Babe?
Girl, you look good. Great job on that Arab tier list. That was good. How much we get for that?
Stop it.
You got 10 million from Qatar for that. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's obsessed with the tier list. Still talking about it, Noor. He's still talking about it.
That's insane. Khalas.
And he's suggesting that.
Yeah, Qatar, please send me free pizza vouchers. Wait, where was that? You remember that restaurant Garfield Eats? Anybody remember that? It was like I think you like use an app to call in to do your order, and then you go and pick it up. It doesn't do delivery. You go to the Garfield Eats like place to pick it up, but there's like no place to actually eat your Garfield Eats. Where was that from? What country was Garfield Eats based in? I can't remember.
$1 million from Qatar. Hey, Qatar, if you're paying $10 million, we'll take it. We will sign the fuck up. I will become the #1 Qatar propaganda podcast in the world. Wouldn't you guys like $10 million?
Yes.
We'll each. I guarantee you guys a couple of mil. Let's do it. Qatar, please. We're open. Our pockets are open, ready to receive. Ready to receive. So
wait, hold on. Why is he saying that she's funded by Qatar?
Because she's Muslim and she's Arab and she makes anti-Israel
okay,
content.
but cool.
Literally, that's the only reason. Here he even brings Kaya into this, folks. Hassan's beautiful dog, Kaya. Look at that.
This breed's stunning fluffy coat comes with a price. Chows shed
fuck
all
no.
year-
Very cute, by the way.
Sorry. Boom. Kaya's at 29.29. How fun is this, folks?
Based in Toronto?
For some reason, it doesn't.
What?
I'm using a MacBook
I thought the business started somewhere else.
Air, by the way, folks, so it's getting kind of slow with all the streaming and stuff. I need a new laptop is what I need.
Or that designer dog.
This breed's stunning fluffy coat comes with a price.
What? Yeah. Does he literally? Oh, it's because Hassan is looking at a Chow.
Fuck no.
Very cute.
He's calling Kaya a designer dog. Kaya was in your studio. She played with your dogs, Ethan. Like, how can you go? Like, okay, go for Hassan.
Wait, Dubai?
It's like going for someone's.
It's Dubai. Wait, is Dubai? Oh my god, I gotta look this up. This is gonna be funny if it's true.
Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of insane. That is unhinged. He's just trying to suggest that Hassan is rich and that he lied about adopting a dog, etc., etc. Here at 3844, he talks about white colonizers.
Not as indigenous, but as white colonizers. This is despite the fact that...
Here, let me go back.
Wait a minute, chat.
Talking about how...
in the Middle East.
Ethan's talking about how we, like, pro-Palestinian...
Wait, chat. It's in Dubai? Do you know what the most populous city of Dubai is? The most populous part of Dubai? Chat, it's Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi? Am I pronouncing it wrong? Abu Dhabi. It's Abu Dhabi. It's Abu Dhabi, everyone. It's Abu Dhabi. That's the place that Garfield always tried to send Nermal. Garfield Eats founded it. There's a connection.
Palestinian supporters consider a lot of Israelis as like white
Wait, is Garfield Eats just like Nermal's business?
Colonizers, but he's trying to say that no, a lot of them are from the Middle East.
Characterizes them not as indigenous, but as white colonizers. This is despite the fact that 60% of Jews in Israel are actually native.
Wait, did Ethan Photoshop Stalin to look like him? Oh shit, that's the part that we gotta like avoid watching on stream because Twitch is... Like, I think Twitch is, looking back, Twitch has said that it doesn't want any content like Hasan watching the musical Houthis or some of these segments. They've basically said if anyone else does them, they'll be in trouble.
About the Houthis that hijacked a couple of ships. He's saying that they're still.
But you're coming with us. We're taking over the ship.
And once again, the crew is still MIA for over a year.
Yeah, Nermal's Abu Dhabi on them.
Prisoners to a terrorist organization. But don't worry, guys. Hassan says they have no problem with them.
They're like, all right.
So he says the crew is still MIA.
He cooked and served Nermal.
Still missing after a year. Well, that's not
no, but Nermal's the one in Abu Dhabi, so...
Here is a CNN article that says Yemen's Houthis free crew of the Red Sea cargo ship after 14 months in captivity. You know when they freed them? After the ceasefire. You know what was the condition of doing all of this and kidnapping ships? It was to stop the genocide. They were trying to put pressure on Israel. As soon as there was a ceasefire, the crew has been released, they're safe, and they're alive. So again, because Ethan has been working on this video for so long, he didn't even so much of the news he's using is like outdated and old. So just a fun fact to keep in mind.
Mind you, the Houthis are like one of the only groups who was doing anything for Palestine in the entire region. And it's like the minute someone does something, we're like, oh, they're a terrorist organization. They're... What do you think resistance is? Sitting and putting up posters and posting on social media? Is that what you think resistance is? Grow up.
Stop. Please
Grow up. Please.
You have to pick up a gun sometimes to resist, Ethan. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Unfortunately, that's what people have to do against a violent, genocidal force. Here he's talking about Tim Houthi Chalamet, again saying that he's a Houthi, even though Hasan did think he was a Houthi before he got him in the interview. But eventually they found that he's just a fucking random teenager in Yemen, bro. Okay, so...
Do you want to just like watch the beef between Anthony and the dating and money guy?
Responds. Okay, let's talk about dating and money. So here's the dude. We talked about him. His name is Dating and Money. So I opened up his...
Hatit Ismo? Does he have his name?
No, I don't know what his actual name is. But again, you saw the video of him. Should we watch the video of him harassing Ethan and Ela?
No, we watched it twice.
We just watched it already, yeah, so no need to see that again. But let's see some of... let's watch our... Basically, I'm going to go through our Twitter beef together. Okay, I have all the photos here.
We're all here for a Twitter beef, right?
This is kind of ridiculous. So out of nowhere... Let me maximize this. Boom. So I tweeted this out. I'm like, Ethan has shown me in his videos like 3 to 4 times now, yet has never said my name or the name of my show because he's afraid. He's scared I'm a poach his audience because I'm not a Zionist POS. He responds and says, nah, he doesn't want... He want to show your... He says, nah, he doesn't want to show your ugly face. Ya ibn al-kalb, which means son of a dog. And then he says, ya khanzir, which means you pig. This is unsolicited, folks. I said nothing to this man except, like, I'm assuming he was watching my watch along to the nuke because... When he came up, I called him a fucking idiot. So he must have seen that and...
Oh, yeah. That's why I was thinking this was weird, right? Because, like... Chat, this minus that context, this would be totally weird and random.
And got upset. So I replied, what did I say? It's like, lol, you're an embarrassment to Arabs and the Palestinian cause. Masmis ya zabir, which means suck you, which means suck my dick, you penis. I'm basically saying suck my P word, you P word. I'm sorry, I mean, getting vulgar folks and stuff, but like he was just really annoying.
Must be.
There's a name for that.
He replies and tells me you're a pajit, which is a derogatory.
No.
So he's shit.
Oh my god, that's fucked up.
I skipped that one. So he says, you are from India. Don't lie. You don't look Arab. Ya hayawan, ya kalb. So ya hayawan means you animal. Ya kalb means you dog. He's fucking going at me, bro.
That's crazy. You don't look Arab, but you do.
He says, as soon as you touch down, you're going to stink up the place and get deported immediately. Sidewalk pooper. So immediately, he seems like a 12-year-old with calling me a sidewalk pooper. Okay, so here, he goes back to one of my old tweets where I say, AB, how could you do this to me? When AB denied knowing me, like Judas denied knowing Jesus back in the Old Testament. He denied him 3 times.
Same energy, yeah.
3 times. So he says, AB Stockula, a sucker just like you. I could box both of you. The F slur, basically.
Is he trying to...
Screened out the AGS, but he's calling us the F slur.
That's crazy.
With one hand, so I can box both of you F words with one hand and sleep you both if we ever boxed in a boxing match. First of all, dating and money. I've been training for almost 2 years. I have the best coach in Lebanon, Coach Sherb al-Khouri, at Box Yard in Kastik, motherfucker, in the Zoo Musbih. I would beat your ass to the ground, boy. Even Starkiller, bro. I'm sorry, AB. He's not great at boxing. I've watched both creator clashes. He's not very good at boxing. I can take AB down and I can take your ass down. You best believe I could take both of you in a tag team, bro. I could take the 2 of you down. Okay, tag team. Creator Clash 3. Call me iDubbbz. Call me Anissa. I got you. Then I told him, oh, bro, no way. You're that. Oh, that's when I realized who he was. At first, I'm like, who's this guy attacking me on fucking Twitter? Then I literally clicked on his name and I saw his video. I'm like, oh, bro, no way. You're that dumbass who harassed Ethan in the street? Lol, that's too funny. You're a dumbass. I'd whoop your ass, boy. Again, sorry for the macho stuff. I don't really talk like that. Then I shared a story that I was like, bro, I'm supposed to visit the States in a few months. Am I going to die because another plane like crashed in Philadelphia? He's like, we finna deport your camel ass.
My god. What's wrong with this guy?
Living in LA, like, what are you talking about deporting me, bro? Like, what is wrong with you? Self-hating Arab. Then, I think I called him ugly or something. He shares this photo and tags me. He says physio.
That's something that a lot of people seem to be agreeing on.
Physiognomy, basically, and tags me, do not worry, pod. And I told him, you're an Uber driver. Got it. Doesn't he look like an Uber driver? I don't want to sound if that is that fucked up. I'm an Arab. I'm allowed to say it. He looks like an Uber driver, folks. And there's nothing wrong with being an Uber driver. Like, I'm just going to stop this train of thought. You guys aren't happy with it. If the Uber driver's a bad insult, folks, we're doing it live.
I just feel like, because I went through his Twitter a little bit, all the stuff he posts, he's in his car. So
it's very Uber driver.
He may be an Uber driver.
And he's wearing those like the Snapchat spectacles. Again, all my love and respect to Uber drivers. We love you. I don't have a car. All I do is ride cabs, baby. I love taxis. Let's go. We got more from this guy.
He looks annoying as fuck.
He's very annoying. Let's watch some of his videos. Let's go to his Twitter real quick.
Physiognomy.
Because his Twitter is insane and unhinged, folks. Literally unhinged. He has a bunch of fucked up tweets. Now, I saved a bunch of them, but let's try to go through his Twitter first, and let's see what's up, shall we?
Goes without saying if his @ is dating and money. Couldn't even try to come up with something creative, by the way.
I know. So here's the Twitter. His dating and money. This is the channel where we talk about dating and money, baby. Follow the Instagram and dating. So let's just read some of his tweets, okay? Look at the power of free speech. I saved a bunch of. So here he's talking about drones, okay? Look at this. This is the only way to solve the mass immigration border problem is to have armed mini drones all along the U.S.-Mexico border that are ordered to shoot at anybody who steps 5 feet away from the U.S.-Mexico border. This is a Palestinian man living in the U.S. wanting to murder incoming refugees with drones at the U.S. border, folks. So this man is clearly unhinged.
He def voted for Trump. If he's I don't know, is he a citizen?
Yeah. Here he says, I'm a Palestinian man, and I think the 1947 borders two-state solution is the best option for Israel and Palestine. Let's end the radicalization, stop spreading hate, show love, and let's all come together. Oh, let's all come together. Let's just keep that in mind. Let's all come together. We need peace and love between Jews and Muslims. Ooh, that's great, because he's going to shit on him in just a second, folks. Here he's sharing this video from a fellow person on Twitter. Nothing is more annoying than a demonic, libtard, satanic, transgender, propaganda spreading, psych med poppin' future single mother.
Buzzword.
Please take
what the fuck?
Respectfully, we don't need your help with your satanic Jewish propaganda.
Oh my god, this is awful.
He's just trying to be a right-wing grifter.
I had my suspicions when I saw him try to pop off. I had my suspicions when I was watching his TikTok. But yeah, no, that's exactly what I would have guessed.
You're failing, brother.
Here he talks about gay people. Look at this. This is his take on gay people. 46% of gay men have been sexually abused. I wouldn't be surprised if stats are much higher. To treat their gay behavior that they can act on like it's normal is weird to me. If you're a gay man and know that these stats are encouraging and promoting gay behavior, I think morally you are corrupt. Why would you promote a behavior based off statistic that seems to be a negative reaction to sexual abuse? So
okay. Oh, wow.
Abused when they were younger, and that's why he
uses the language.
Here's his take on trans
Let me know.
They don't
Hack All Things is saying he's using a lot of pole language.
How many?
Because we like them being gay.
Here he says, nothing is more embarrassing and awkward than running into a transgender in public and being forced to engage in conversation with them for any necessary reason. I immediately want to go off on them and tell them that they are only proving to the world that they most likely were sexually abused when they were younger, statistically, and explain to them how they are mentally ill. And
I can't even concentrate on what he's saying.
But I choose to keep my peace and go on with my day, and I hope I can reach all these demonic psychopaths on X to be more efficient.
Jesus Christ.
So that is but a taste of dating and money,
Wow.
folks. Someone I'm beefing with currently. Let's watch him talk about this type of gel that is good for you, whatever.
Feel like you got low testosterone levels?
Low testosterone.
Then you need some Himalayan Shilajit. We're gonna give this a try, guys.
Isn't this music copyrighted? Let's.
This
It must
resin,
be.
dude. Whoa.
Whoa,
My
dude.
testosterone levels are about to skyrocket, guys.
Do you have low testosterone levels? Is that what you're saying, my man? Why'd you have low testosterone levels? You a bitch? You're not man enough?
Chat, is it just me or is there something weird and funny about a guy that like is so is so racist against like Indian people, like eating shilajit for his testosterone? Is it just me? Or is there a weird irony there somewhere?
Smoking a joint? What is this? Did you just hit a blunt?
Imagine
Great internet.
on a tire.
Am I still on my 4G?
That's literally
Yeah,
what it tastes like. I always eat things that don't taste good because I care about my health. Okay? So at the end of the day,
remember, folks.
I mean, that's how you be healthy, by eating something that doesn't taste good.
And money. This man will give you the dating.
Oh, it was not Vegemite. No, do you know what shilajit is, chat? Isn't shilajit like some kind of liquid that like you get like that drips off of mountains or something, and it contains a bunch of lead or I don't know.
To get those ladies, to get those men, whatever. Here he's what is he talking about here? He's talking about it's okay.
But I mean, it's a traditional. It's like a I think it's used in traditional medicine.
Uber driver.
On TikTok.
Right? Uber
Major
driver.
Uber driver.
He was like a service driver, like a cab driver in
Service.
Lebanon with the, like,
El
fucking,
fan.
with the wife beater. So he was talking about how it's okay to be bald, which hey, I agree. You know what I mean? It suits some people more than others. Unfortunately, I don't know about you, my man, but let's go. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, for
man, it is
Heisenberg.
okay to all the men out there, man. It is okay to be bald, bro. Look, I'm 26, about to turn 27 next month.
What?
Bro, you look 43.
I thought he was 45.
You look 44. I'm 34,
He's
bro.
Elijah's age.
He's Elijah.
Oh my God, he's
He's
Elijah's
Elijah's
age.
age.
You,
He's 2
guys,
years older,
you guys have
right?
seen Elijah. He looks like a little baby. This man looks like a 45-year-old man, and you're teaching people about dating and money, my man? I'm
Bruh.
34. How do I look like your child? How do I look like your son, bro? What?
How does he have gray hair? Like the little hairs
yeah,
he has.
my hairline is gone, bro. I'm actually
Oh, come on.
This is what being evil does.
really just in love with being bald now, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't care no more. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. Stop being a sucker and rock your baldness, bro. Rock your baldness. Have some confidence.
Boom. Just
To all the men out there, man,
Enough
it
of
is
you.
okay.
Enough of you. Let me cut to you guys real quick. Let me cut here.
People were saying, imagine if he's not even Palestinian. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even Palestinian. Like, he could be some other flavor of Arab. If he is, then they don't want you, brother.
Oh, we don't want it. We definitely don't want
We
it.
don't want you.
Let me cut. Sorry. Boom, boom, boom. Here, you got another video.
I would cancel my ride if he was my driver.
Vamp says his transphobia has aged him. It's karma.
Same. He talks a lot.
People in LA will complain about, you know, a little help sign carved in the ground all day
Okay, so
long. They'll
sorry.
cry,
Here's the
cry.
caption. LA is gay AF. They will cry all day about help being carved in the ground, but won't say anything about Moloch billboard. And
Wait, they will cry about help being carved in the ground? What?
Because they don't. Okay, he's talking about like someone like a
What billboard?
Cry
Moloch.
about this little help sign carved in the ground created by a bunch of bums and tweakers, right? But there's an actual Moloch billboard on La Cienega in LA. And for those of you that don't know, Moloch is a child sacrificing god in ancient Israel. Okay, I don't know. If
What
he's
are
a
you
god,
talking
but
about?
he's a symbol of child.
I bet he's gonna be doing some anti-Semitism with this.
We don't need to.
We're getting to it. A shilajit is an organic mineral product of predominantly biological origin formed at high altitudes of stony mountains in sheltered crevices and caves. Sounds delicious.
One more video.
Joshua Kell. Super chatted $5. I'm so over men projecting their insecurities and making it everyone else's problem.
I mean, there's a lot of that, isn't there? I'm over it too, Joshua. I'm over it too.
Let's do one more of our boy.
Platforms, you know.
What is he talking about here?
How
Shout out
many
to Dana.
likes
Shout out
is
Dana
he
White.
getting? Like 0.
Like 0 likes, literally.
Did you just say shout out to Dana White?
He's got no traction. He's got no smoke. He says shout out
No motion.
to Dana White for pushing free speech. We need free speech in the NBA, NFL, and other sports. Let's see what our boy has to say.
I want to say shout out Dana White for promoting free speech in the UFC, man. It's kind of sad that in 2025 we still don't have free speech.
Anyways, keep
But,
hustling. I don't want to make
you
fun of
know,
him. He also
Dana
has a
White is-
YouTube channel. You guys want to check out his YouTube
Dana
channel?
White thanks you.
Do we want to check that out?
The thing is, why is he in LA if he hates gay people and trans people? You are in the gayest city in America, bro. Move.
I know, right?
Move away. Go to Missouri.
So that's his YouTube channel. He's got 1.5. Oh, he's got less. He's at 1.5k subscribers. As I said, Ethan made fun of our views. I'm never gonna make fun of another creator's views. You're hustling, my man. But like 1.54k subs, you could do better. I'm sure. Keep hustling. Videos, 400 views, 68 views, 36.
Wait, Michael Jackson, they don't care about us. Isn't that the anti-Semitic one?
Views, 10 views. Good luck, my man. We support you. I think you could do. I think if you believe in yourself, you know what I mean. You can make something of yourself. And but again, this is just to show Ethan. I'm pro-Palestine. I'm Arab. I don't have to. This guy is an embarrassment to Arabs. سمعتني يا حمار قارب شكلك يا قارب بعد تحكينا بدنا نرجع عليه. You're gonna deport me. قارب شكلك قارب هبلك. ما في أسطل منك. يعني أنت فلسطيني. أنت جرسة لفلسطين. عم بتجرس بلدك. فما تحكي
ونحن كمان
عم بتجرسنا هنا كمان ونحن ما خصنا فيك. عم بتجرس بلدك. ما تحكي بقى عن فلسطين لأنه عم بتمثلنا كلنا بطريقة مبهدلة. العالم هلا بأمريكا عم يفكرونا نحن العرب مساتيل وهبل مثلك لانك انت حمار انت بهله. اوكي احترم حالك احترم العالم اللي حواليك and don't go harassing people. As much as you disagree with Ethan and Ela, don't fucking harass anyone in the streets because again you're making yourself look bad. What if they had their kids with them, bro? It's fucking horrifying to have some fucking random guy walk up to you in the street. Like, don't fucking do that shit. Ethan, we don't all agree with one another. Not all Arabs are the same. Not all pro-Palestinian supporters are the same. You're beefing with this fucking dumbass. I'm beefing with this fucking dumbass. He even called Hasan, like look at this. He's even beefing with Hasan now because Hasan called him out and like kind of like denied knowing him.
He's obviously dying to make any kind of content. He just wants to
He wants anything. He wants to be the next Andrew Tate type thing. He called he's like this N-word, Hasan the Hun a F-word. This is what he just said like 2 days ago. So this is Hasan's fan that you're talking about, Ethan. This is the Hasan fan that we're all beefing with on Twitter currently.
Also, you're not getting any views because you have negative charisma, brother. Negative charisma. That's why no one wants.
Negative aura.
I'm sorry, bro. You gotta. You're an immigrant, my man. Okay, you should be welcoming of other people and other Arabs coming to the States. Like, don't be such a self-hating immigrant, man. It's kind of pathetic. You know what I'm saying? Also, I mean, we're a much bigger channel than you. Got 1,000 subs. This is a 23,000 sub channel, baby. What the fuck you doing? You aiming high? You punching up? I'm punching down, baby. And I would whoop your ass in boxing. Just remember that, okay? I'ma whoop that ass, boy. I'ma whoop that ass if I ever get the opportunity.
Immigrants who are anti-immigrants are the funniest demographic in the U.S. ever. I'm obsessed with you guys.
We are quickly going to touch on something fun that happened. People are trying to dox us and get us fired from our...
Ew.
I touched on this slightly in the live stream last week, and people were like, oh my God, we're so sorry that's happening to you. I was on Reddit. I was checking out a post on Reddit. I discovered this whole other... I thought that there was just like H3 snark. Turns out there's this whole other H3 snark-like subreddit, and someone shared this post, which we're going to read together, folks, momentarily. As I switch, how many viewers do we have in the...
777. Whoa, angel number.
7th. That's like a lucky number. Jesus, that's beautiful. Desktop react. Here we go. So Destiny's community wanting Ethan to retaliate against Anthony Sargon from Do Not Worry for interviewing Bad Empanada. If you look at the bottom of the post, right here, you'll see that a Brocken toilet seat is saying, I saw that Anthony Sargon of Do Not Worry podcast had Bad Empanada on after Hasan promoted him for a week. Hopefully Ethan shares who employs all these losers. Ain't no way they're just surviving off of podcast money.
Well, I mean, I know that a broken toilet seat is technically right once a day. But no, this broken toilet seat is fucked up.
Now, that's pretty hard. I mean, okay, it's just some fucking freak who's just saying that on Reddit. I wasn't really going to take that very seriously. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people were probably wanting Ethan to send mass email campaigns. The difference is with Destiny fans is that they do it all the time to Hasan sponsors and like to Twitch, and like they're always sending these mass email campaigns. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And I did actually reach out to my employers. Now we all work in the Middle East. That's what's lucky. None of us work in the U.S. We don't work for American companies, so no one's gonna care if you call them and try to say that like we support terrorism or that like we're anti-Semites. No one knows who the fuck Ethan Klein is. Like no one knows what you're gonna be talking about. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? But just in case, I reached out to my like coworker. I'm like, listen, you might get an email calling me an anti-Semite, saying that I like terrorists. I'm like, yeah, it's just some random YouTube beef I'm dealing with. She's like, tell me about it. I'm like, you're not like. I cannot begin to
Destiny fans be normal challenge.
Tell you the story. Like there's way too many details. But then Noor shared something interesting like a few days ago.
I actually sent it before this post.
So she sent us this before I saw this thing on Reddit. And this is what Noor sent us basically. Someone had gone onto her LinkedIn, and then they showed her like your viewers also viewed, and they showed me, they showed Nadim, they showed Elijah at the bottom.
Elijah's blurred.
I wonder if they saw me.
They probably saw you
did,
at the bottom.
but
You know what
this
I mean?
is all they showed me.
So the person who checked out Noor's employment history went out and checked mine, Nadim's, the whole crew basically. And it's not until I saw that Reddit post that I kind of connected the dots and I was like, this is probably a Destiny or H3 fan trying to see where we work, gather our employers, and email them or try to like threaten us to like lose our jobs or like, you know, try to scare us off from our jobs, which
I'm unemployed.
So Noor is unemployed. I work for a company that is not based here. It's based in the Middle East. No one's going to care. I've already given them a heads up. You might get some crazy emails. They don't care. Elijah's job doesn't care. Nadim's job doesn't care. Like, good luck, folks. No one gives a shit.
I literally cannot imagine my boss getting an email and caring, giving an ounce of care. She'll be like, putting us in junk. What the fuck is this?
So I just wanted to like, this is all the evidence we have, a Reddit post, but knowing that how Destiny fans operate and now H3 fans being asked by Ethan to reach out to all of these Twitch sponsors and to anytime Hasan wants to do an interview, warn the person he's going to interview that Hasan is a dangerous menace to society, etc.
Yeah, I mean, this shit has gone nuclear and like, I mean, no pun intended, or I guess it's not much of a pun now that Ethan's killed the pun, but, and you know, it wasn't a funny one to begin with, but this is not the way. This is not how anybody should be. It's the worst thing you can do. Try to ruin everybody's bag over your hurt feelings.
I just thought it was fun to talk about that. Real quick. Now.
Okay, real quick, I am going to thank my Patreons, because I appreciate you, Patreons. And I wanted to shout out everybody at the $5 level and higher. So shouts out to go to Or Else Ellipsis, shouts out go to Temporal Insanity, to Funky Monkey, to Shakespeare, to Nadia, to Moinoe, to My Goggles, to Just Julie, to Jules K, to Infallible Fowl, to Hot Ham Radio, to Good for Gabby, to Buffy Geek, to Animus, And a fancy shout out to Zara Xerix, to Rachel K, to Crystal Casavira, and to Omega Star. Now, what I'm about to do here, chat, if you are interested. Oh, wait. I had it. There. I'm about to raid you in to USA Hall. We haven't seen them in a while. So yeah, and YouTube, you're consider yourself free to come over as well. And if you go to nocommentchick CC on Twitch right now, you'll be rated in to my good friend USA Hall, and they are up late tonight streaming about who knows what. Let's check in and see what they're actually.
I hate those fucking things. No, mine's just the no muffler. I would never fucking put that shit.
Some cool people in chat.
Oh my shit.
Yeah, you got a limited number of seconds if you want to join us on Twitch.
Yeah,
you will get to see this streamer. You'll be part of the raid. So when somebody raids me, I like to share the love. We haven't raided into USA Hull in quite some time. One time in the last 30 days, huh?
Also, I had a Ford Taurus.
Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody who supported me. Even if all you can do is hit that like button, I appreciate that too. Thumb gang, you are huge. You're so important. When we put all our thumbs together, that's the only way that we can thumb wrestle the algorithm into submission and push my content out to more people. So I appreciate you, Thumb Gang. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, there we go. There's the raid. And the music.
Like people are looking out the window, like, and it's just my little ass fucking tiny shit.
All right. I'm gonna end stream now.
Thanks for reading. How was your
Thank you for okay, here, I'm gonna
shout out, no comment, chick, pug, stream.
Short but sweet. Stream was short but sweet.
It's your freaking
Nabil is in the chat.
USA Hole. And
Yeah, if you ever need a place to go late night, USA Hole is very often on late at night, and good stream to catch. Anyway, good night everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Meow.